Good afternoon, folks. For those of you who weren't around yesterday, we were building the 1/100 scale Super Robot Wars AltEisen, which is the second in the Super Robot Wars kits that I built on camera. The other one was the Wildwurger, which was pretty awesome. This one is proving to also be pretty awesome, even if it is a bit on the complex side and has a whole lot of parts in the legs and feet that were kind of unexpected and took me a little bit longer to actually build than I was expecting. But we got past that. We now have 2 legs, 2 arms, and a sweet-ass pilot figure there. So, we are going to continue rolling with this build today. Moving on from the legs to finally start on something that's not legs, namely the head, it looks like. So let's go ahead and, without any further ado, deal with this, because we have to start wiring up some stuff with these LEDs over here now. Now, the Wildwurger also had LEDs in the head, and it was not very difficult at all to wire up. So I'm hoping these will be similarly pretty easy to wire, but we'll find out. Pretty sure I'm going to need this, and also this clear horn part. So we'll go ahead and get those out and get them ready. So the problem that I had with the Wildwurger's LED parts in the head were how you clipped the wires into place. It was not exactly what one would consider intuitive. Like I said, hopefully these will be a little bit better than that. I mean, not that they were bad, it was just a little difficult to really get into the correct position and get everything clipped down and in place. So yeah. So this is going to go. All right. So we're going to have a similar situation here, but it looks like it's going to be a little bit easier to actually get into place. We've got this nice little pre-painted colored area where it's going to end up going. Large runners. Though in honesty, now that I've gotten rid of some of the runners, I can spread these out a little bit more. And be a bit more judicious with my space management there. Alright, so this goes in there. Come on now. Yep, having the same kind of problem we had with the Wildwurger's lighting part. So these pieces have to go in at a very, very tight tolerance here. And they do not want to go the way they're supposed to. Because there's just not enough clearance there. Howdy, Bobby.
Hey, how's it going?
It could be better.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe it's just supposed to go like that? I don't know.
Oh. Almost done with these metal pieces.
How's that going for you?
Better than it was. I went to the hobby store yesterday to pick up some thinner, some acrylic thinner.
Right.
And I asked the guy at the register, I was like, hey, what's a good glue for bonding metal and plastic together? And he was like, well, super glue, but you want the medium super glue? And I had been using the extra thin.
Ah.
And he's like, no, that's too watery. That won't work well.
I see.
So I picked up a bottle of the medium while I was there, and that seems to be working a lot better. It's a lot easier.
That's good.
Yeah. So I got all the verniers done, and now I'm just doing like the joint covers and stuff.
I see. Alright, so I guess it goes like... Ah, dang it. I really might have to shave that out a little bit. The tolerances on that are very tight. Very tight.
Are those
Hopefully
wires? Is
that's
that an
correct.
LED
Yeah,
thing?
it is. And there's like this little clip that you're supposed to put them in to hold them into the head part, and it's
Mm-hmm.
very, very, very tight tolerances, like exceedingly tight tolerances there. I
Gotcha.
hope I've got them in right, but I'm not certain if I do or not. It is very difficult to tell, and for some
And this is
reason,
one of those Kotobukiya Super Robot Wars kits.
yep, for some reason I'm pretty sure I don't have that in right. So, because I think that LED is supposed to go all the way to the front of that. Although that doesn't show it, but it's got to. There's no way it can't. But the problem is that it's almost for certain not going to work. Oh, man. I have no idea how they're expecting this to actually go in.
Yeah, I still haven't even opened my Koto kit, so.
Well, that one's not going to have any LEDs in it.
No, I figured not.
But this one is like this thing is like it's very difficult for me to see how. I mean, let's put it like this: their instructions on how this thing is supposed to actually go into the kit are not great.
Is there any text to it, or is it just pictures?
I mean, there's a little bit of text, but it's all in Japanese. And the thing is,
Do
like, it feels like I'm
you
just
have
trying to figure
your
out how far it should go in.
smartphone?
Yeah, but I mean, it's just gonna be like, put this LED here. It's not gonna be. I've seen these types of
Gotcha.
instructions before. They're not fantastic.
Gotcha.
Like, it's just a matter of trying to figure out like how far in this thing needs to go. But I think it just goes like that, and then this pushes in from the rear like that, but then this other piece doesn't want to sit flush. So I don't know if I don't have it in far enough or what's going on. I mean, if it were like that, that'd be fine, but that's not how it is. All right, let's see here. I guess if it goes like that, that's fine, but it's not going to want to stay like that, so we're going to have to put some pressure on it when we put the other parts on, I guess. All right. I think I got this figured out now. The other one had the same sort of problem where it just felt like it did not want to go the way that it was supposed to, but it eventually got there.
Gotcha.
Because it's got these little plastic clips that kind of go around the LED wires and everything to keep them, seated while you build the rest of it. And I honestly don't think the clips are necessary, but they do help while you're building the rest of it.
Yeah.
But it feels like once everything's together, they're kind of superfluous. But if you don't have them there, it does make building everything else a giant pain. Because I tried to get away without doing it on the other one, and it just didn't work. Because the wires kept, popping out.
Coming out. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I'm looking forward to my MGF91 is supposed to come next weekend, or Friday, rather.
Yep.
And I think I'm going to do my own custom LEDs on it instead of trying to buy that shitty, expensive kit.
Probably for the best, because I've heard that kit's not all that
I heard
great
it's bad, and it's like a $50 light kit.
Yep.
So, screw that. I've got plenty of LEDs and a soldering iron, so...
Alright.
Inspo.
I guess that's eventually going to go like that, but that's after. So now we need this piece. Ooh.
Trying to decide what I'm going to use for so I bought a Delphi decal hollow decal set for the MG Sotheby.
Right.
And I'm trying to decide I like to do like a gloss coat before I put decals on.
Yep.
I'm trying to decide what I'm going to use for that. Like what gloss coat?
The brightest gloss coat you can get your hands on.
Well, that would be the Pledge. That shit is so glossy. It's ridiculous.
It really, really is.
The only problem I have with it is that you have to be kind of careful because it seems like it can run.
Yeah, if you spray just a little bit too much.
Yeah.
But overall, it's self-leveling, so it's not that big of a deal.
Okay. But otherwise, I did my HG Zigok.
Right.
And that turned out pretty well. So. And I did like I actually ended up doing 2 layers, so I did like a I have this paint mix that I made from Tamiya clear and with a tiny bit of Tamiya chrome silver,
Right.
and I sprayed that onto it with the airbrush, and it made it all sparkly. And then I did like a layer of the pledge, and then another layer of the sparkles, and then a layer of the pledge.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a cool effect. It doesn't show up as well in the pictures, but it's pretty cool.
All right, there. I think I got all of that the way it's supposed to be. Hopefully, anyways.
Yeah.
So I will say this about the Falnea. There are a couple parts on it that are not parts accurate, I guess is the best way to put it. Like, there's some areas that are clearly supposed to be hollow parts, like where you should
Mhm.
be able to see through them. There should be gaps, but it's solid. I just painted black in those areas because it's supposedly showing through to the inner frame, and I'm like, yeah, if you just black it out, it looks like it's just dark in there. But most everything else on it is pretty accurate to what you get in the pictures. There's a couple of gaps in the front skirts as well that are just because of the way they had to mold it, couldn't really be any other color. So
Is that what you're working on right now?
no. This is the AltEisen. The Falnea is the one you got.
No, I got the jagged falcons.
Oh, right. You got the frame arms. Never mind.
Yeah.
For somebody else had mentioned they had gotten the Falnea recently, and I can't remember who
Oh,
that
okay.
was. No, the jagged falcons is actually pretty cool, and I actually found, and I'll send this your way.
Okay.
The pictures that I took of mine after it was all done, so you can kind of get an idea of what it's going to look like out of the box.
Gotcha.
Cause
No, I'm assuming you panel lined it.
You really don't need to with this one.
Okay.
Here, I'll shoot it over in the chat real quick. That's not it. What is that? Oh, that's not what I wanted to copy. But thanks for that. There.
Oh, that looks great.
Yeah, I mean, and that's literally without any extra, like panel. There's like a little bit of panel lining here and there, just to like call out some of the little bit of molded details, but like overall, not really.
Yeah, I guess it. All those clear parts probably help with it, since a lot of the flat surfaces are covered with clear parts.
Yep. So that helps. One thing I would say might be a good thing to do with it is to put some like silver or something chrome underneath the clear parts to really call out some of the detail that actually comes through on those.
Okay.
But I mean, at the time I didn't have anything like that on me because I built that like 4 years ago, maybe.
Gotcha. Well, I've got an airbrush now, and I've got plenty of chrome silver, so.
I mean, you could probably just like hand paint it on, or if you've got the Maltel pens, just go with that. But yeah, it's a really fun kit, and that's the only thing like looking back on it that I personally could see like, man, I wish I would have done X. That X would have been, chroming out the insides there.
Yeah, I did that on my MG Barbatos underneath like the pink clear parts.
Yeah.
I'd put I brushed on some chrome silver underneath them.
Yep. All right.
They do sometimes. Bandai does that with their kits where they'll actually give you like silver stickers.
Yeah,
go
they do that.
behind the-
They do that with the HG G Self Perfect Pack,
Mhm.
and it looks fantastic.
I think they maybe did it. I don't remember which kit it was, but I think it was HG kits that I did that had that.
Kind of wish they'd have done it with the MG Double X, but I mean that's easy enough to just put a little bit of silver underneath that clear part on the chest.
Yeah, I did the HG one of that, and it's a really good HG. I'm gonna do the MG eventually, but it's not
Uh,
top of the list.
right. My only problem that I had with my MG is that one of the legs is just very, very like I need to basically thicken the peg up a little bit because the leg just does not want to stay in place. It just flops around, like to the point
Oh,
where it will just fall off if I pick it up.
okay.
So, is that gonna come apart? I don't think it's gonna come apart. I don't like that there's a gap though. But it's the back of the head. I don't think anybody's gonna see it or care.
Yeah.
And it is a total side effect of there being a giant wire running back down the back of it. And if this LED is as bright as the one on the other kit, then it's going to be a really bright LED.
Yeah, probably not quite as bright as that one that Orb got in his
Oh well,
bust.
that's a whole like mountain of LEDs is the problem there.
Yeah. I will say that these metal parts look incredible, though.
Yeah, I've been considering picking some up for when I do the RG Zazabi.
Yeah, the only thing I would say is that those are going to be smaller,
Yeah,
and I have noticed that the smaller ones are generally more difficult.
eh,
So, well, because like the verniers, right? They come in like 3 or 4 pieces, depending on which one it is,
yeah.
and you have to sort of like hold them together while you apply glue to it, and then put it where it needs to go. Um, and you have to drill holes for all of them too. Is the other thing.
I'm
So,
no, I am no, I'm not afraid of a little bit of danger in my model kit building.
okay,
That's why I put together these Kotobukiya kits, which have points on them sharp enough that they could just kill you if you're not careful.
good to
Like
know.
Bandai doesn't like to have sharp parts on their pieces. That's fine. Like they got the safety nubs on the V fins and stuff like that. But
Mhm.
Kotobukiya doesn't care. Koto's like, well, you want to put your eye out? Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, some of the like beam effect parts can be kind of sharp in the Bandai kits.
Yeah, not once you start getting into the Jag Fouch, you'll see what I mean. Like if
Yeah.
it looks like it's a if it looks like it's supposed to be a sharp like corner part, it's a sharp
Hmm.
corner part. Like it is definitely you could puncture something with it.
Gotcha. One frustrating thing about these directions is it has some pictures, but like I'm on the metal air holes part,
Right.
and there are 15 of them, and the only obvious ones that I see are, and the ones in the picture are on the like the Sotheby's, I don't know, butt flap or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
Um, and so I don't know where the other 9 of these go.
Hmm.
So,
There. That was entirely far harder than it needed to be there, Kodo. But hopefully that'll make this more secure so that I don't have to glue this on in place. Ah, no, that's still not wanting to go down fully, isn't it? Well, that's no good. But it's not that. Why does
also,
it
the
not want to
power
go down
tube
fully?
pieces do not fit particularly well.
Hmm.
Um, they don't allow the like plastic tube to like actually seat properly.
Right.
So have you done the NG Sazabi?
I have not.
Okay. So like the power tube on it is like mostly rigid, like tiny bit flexible uh, plastic tubes,
Right.
and you're supposed to, put the yellow plastic beads on it.
Right.
And then it has like little slots that go into the little packs that are on its waist.
Right.
And these little metal beads do not allow it to slot in on the mega cannon on the front, the sides of the mega cannon.
Hmm.
So, but seems to be staying on for the time being at least.
Well, that's good.
Mhm.
I'm trying to figure out why this doesn't want to go all the way down. Why do you not want to go all the way down? Ah, because another piece wasn't all the way in. There we go.
That'll happen.
There we go. Now we're on there secure. Alrighty. Now we're cooking with some sort of gas-like
Accelerant.
substance. Indeed. And these are some. Whew, all right, these are some hefty, hefty head fins. The instructions do not do a good job of showing you like how big parts are next to each other. Like the scale in the instructions is all wonky.
Oh,
Like it's fine. It's not like it's a problem. It's just like you go to reach for a part, you're looking for something in the instructions. You're like, oh, it's about that size, and then you like find the part, and you're like, oh no, 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 no,
yeah.
no. That is much, much different size than what it looks like in the instructions.
Yeah, that can be confusing.
All right.
I'm assuming the parts are still all like numbered and lettered though, right? In the
Oh
Koto
yeah,
kits.
they are. The
Yeah.
the runner layout is a bit uh, unintuitive because the parts aren't sequential, like the numbers aren't, but they
Well,
are
they're not
still.
always sequential in Bandai kits either.
Yeah. It's like, oh, okay, so the 51 is on the left side of the runner, but number 52 is on the right side of the runner. I see. That makes no sense. But no, it's not terrible. Like, this is by far not the worst kit I've ever done for that kind of thing, so I'm not upset about it at all.
Gotcha.
There we go. And now time to do a little bit of panel lining on these head fins. There we go.
And this metal parts kit also came with an LED for the head, but like I already ordered 3 more LEDs from Gundam LED. So
Probably a good choice because their stuff is phenomenally good.
yep, and I don't have to decapitate it to turn it on.
That is probably one of the best features of their stuff is like, oh, I can just like wave this magnet at it
Yep.
and suddenly it works.
Yep. They are a little bit pricey, but so I kind of ended up the reason I only ordered 3 was because I was like, you know what, I'm just not going to put the good LEDs in the back of these GN drives.
Yeah, it makes sense. But they are, yeah, I agree. They are a little on the pricey side, but in my opinion, worth every penny.
Yeah, absolutely. I just figure I can do without them in the back.
Yeah, nobody's really going to be looking back there.
Yep.
Like, that's when I was like looking at the Curios. I'm like, I'm not even going to put a GN drive light in the back of this thing because you literally can't see it.
Yeah.
Oh man, I just love how cleanly this panel line wash goes on.
Yeah, I've gotten a lot better at it with more practice. And it's so much easier when the kit's apart. Like I don't think I'm gonna try and do it on a already built kit ever again.
Yeah, that's always a pain.
Because it just gets into those hidey places where you can't see it, and then that's when you get like the cracking problems.
Yep.
Because it's pooled up somewhere underneath.
Yeah, because it gets down into like where the parts go to, like it gets down in between where the parts form and join.
Right.
There we go.
Yeah, I have no idea where to put these 9s. Goofy.
So are you going to work on the Kotobukiya kit after this, or you got another plan in mind first?
Well, I'm still working on the MG ground type.
Ah, okay.
So I kind of put that aside while I've been doing this metal part stuff. So I didn't do any like building yesterday at all. I was just working on the metal parts and practicing airbrushing.
I
So
see.
because airbrushing, I kind of like you kind of have to wait for a while once you're done anyways. So
Yep.
in between coats, I was working on the metal parts.
How's the airbrushing going, by the way?
I like it a lot. It's really fun. It's cool to be able to. I'm not very good at brush painting,
Right.
so being able to just kind of like push a button and change the color is pretty great.
Yeah, the real techniques in airbrushing come with like masking and like doing fades and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I'll get to
And
that
color
stuff
mixing.
eventually.
Yeah.
I just, I'm starting out with the simple stuff, doing like full coats, full color, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
Like this part is now going to be this other color and it's going to only be that color.
yeah, exactly.
Yep.
So I I've been using my suction fed brush because it came with a suction and 2 gravity brushes.
Yep.
And I got a bunch of extra bottles for the suction because I like that I can see how much paint is left. And it's really easy to switch because I just keep a bottle full of cleaner and then I'll just attach that, spray through until it comes out clear or whatever. And then, I can switch to a different color. It's really easy.
I have actually never done the I've never done the suction feed airbrushing. I've only had the gravity feed.
Okay. Yeah, I have both. I think that gravity is going to be probably a better bet for, well, for one thing, my suction feed is it's a single action as far as the button goes, but it has an adjustable nozzle.
Okay.
Because it basically there's like two there's a nozzle that comes off the paint jar, and then there's a nozzle that comes from the air, and you control how open the nozzle from the paint jar is.
Right.
Um, so it's not going to be great for like doing any kind of fine detail work, but for just like full coating something, it's easy.
Hmm.
And I,
I
I
may have
kind of
to.
like that it's single action because the dual action ones, I've messed with them a bit, and my finger gets really sore after a
Uh,
while.
yeah, it's a matter of like anything, you just gotta get used to it.
Yeah. Well, and I'm sure it won't be a problem if I'm just doing like detail work, if I've got like lines masked onto a part or something and I'm just doing that, that shouldn't be a problem. But for doing a full coat of a paint, it's a little annoying.
All right.
But yeah, I have this weird idea that I want to try. I have like an extra RX-78 HG,
Yep.
not any of the special ones, just a regular one. And I'm gonna prime it and then I think paint it all gloss black and then do a coat of chrome silver on top of that. And then I saved all of my runners from a bunch of the clear parts kits or the clear kits that I got from the P Bandai.
Right.
And what I'm gonna do is cut them into little pieces with my like cheapo nippers, and then apply those to the kit, like all over the kit with the Tamiya super thin or extra thin. And
Okay.
then once they're all on there, I'm going to go over the entire thing with extra thin. So what I'm thinking it might look like is like stained glass almost.
I'd do some practicing on that beforehand. That sounds really, really iffy.
I don't know. I mean, have you ever made any of the plastic goop?
I have not. No.
Okay, because that's basically what I'm going for is kind of like that, but um, without melting it completely.
Hmm.
And it's like it's an extra HG kit, so it's not something that I'm gonna be crying if it turns out poorly.
Fair enough.
I'm not doing it on my, $90 MG Sotheby kit.
Hmm. There we go. All right. Okay, I see how that's supposed to go there. What is that? G32. Why this is on the K runner, I have no idea, but okay.
It's like I kind of want to buy like a bunch more of the entry grade kits, the RX-78s, just because it's so cheap that it would be really good, I think, for just messing around.
Oh yeah, just trying out different stuff. I could see
Yep.
that.
Because it's cheap, but they're like good quality. Like for
Yeah.
$7, they're
Yep.
incredible value.
Indeed. Though in fairness, the only one that I've done so far is the G3 clear color prize one. So
Okay.
I don't even think I've seen them for sale anywhere around here.
Entry grades?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see them when I went into the hobby shop yesterday. The three that I got, I pre-ordered from Amazon like 6 months ago or whatever.
Ah,
So I pre-ordered them basically as soon as they were available for pre-order.
that
And
makes
then
sense.
two of them are going to two of my nephews, and then one of them I built. But I built mine without nippers just to prove that just to see what it was like.
Right,
Because they're my two nephews are like have never done Gunpla before or anything,
right.
um, so they don't have any tools, and it's really actually very easy to do it without nippers.
Oh yeah, I mean half the parts that I was doing on the G3 were just like, oh, I guess I'll just twist this a little bit. And it just pops right off. Look at that.
You
All right, there we go. Wires pulled through without any problems. Nice.
Oh, that's good.
I'm always a little nervous about like if I gotta wire my own LEDs and stuff because it's
Mhm.
always a little like I'm gonna screw this up somehow. I just feel it, but so far I haven't. And this is pretty decent practice before I start working on the Rodam's GPO3 that I've got.
Yeah, I'm really curious about that one. It looks like a beast.
Yeah, but everything I've heard says that like the actual like construction of it is really really like easy to do and like solid, and there's no build problems with it or anything like that.
Gotcha. Is that a PG scale or
No, it's 172 scale.
so a little bit so between master grade and perfect grade?
Yeah. Which is an odd scale to do something at, considering, but I mean, I guess they're trying to avoid the ire of,
Lawsuits.
yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, we don't want to get involved with that.
I figure that's why none of the real mainstream stores sell stuff like that.
Well, that and they're just hard to get. Like a lot of these companies
Yeah.
don't have like full on distribution deals or anything.
Mhm.
So like they're just difficult to get your hands on. What like even for stores that normally would sell them.
Because like the store where I think you linked me to that Rodams, they also have some of the Supernova kits there,
Yep.
and I've never seen those like anywhere else other than like eBay.
Yep, because they're like those kinds of like that store in particular gets that kind of stuff all the time because that's the kind of crowd that they cater to, or the people
Mm,
who want those. But like on the whole, those kits are just infamously hard to get a hold of
yeah,
because I mean they're not sold through they don't go through normal distribution. Like Bluefin's clearly not going to carry them and stuff like that.
yeah. But I really want to do the one I really want to do. I think is the Supernova Heavy Arms Custom, but that store doesn't have that one in stock. They have the regular Heavy Arms Custom, which is still ridiculous looking, um, but not quite as ridiculous looking.
It doesn't have a billion guns; it just has a million guns.
Exactly. But the Heavy Arms Customs on eBay, it's like $60, but then you look at the shipping and it's like another $60 for shipping. And I'm like,
Yeah, I saw something on eBay last night. I'm like, oh, 120 for that? That's a really good deal. And then like the shipping was like plus $45 shipping, and I'm like, no, that's suddenly not as good of a deal as I thought it was.
Yeah.
All right.
So I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking maybe after the holiday season's over, I might buy one of those Supernova kits from that site. Maybe I might do like the Death Scythe one.
Is that the one where it looks like it's got the exposed ribs and stuff?
I don't think so. I think you mentioned that the other night, and I was thinking maybe it's a different one.
Maybe.
Because maybe they do like a Death Scythe and a Death Scythe Hell.
Possibly. I mean, I don't keep up with those sorts of things, so I have no idea.
Yeah, the only reason I got interested in it was I was at this was a couple weeks ago or something. I was at this hobby store, uh, same chain, the Hobbytown USA, but
Right.
it's like a little bit further from my house than the one that I normally go to
Right.
because they said they had a Banshee Norn RG, which they did not, but whatever. And I ran into this person there who was looking at Gunpla, and they started telling me about the Supernova kits, and I was like, I didn't even know that was a thing.
Huh. Yeah, they're just edgier versions of the regular old wing kits.
Yeah, they're just like, what if everything was like amplified to 1,000?
Right.
Which I don't want all my kits to look like that, but it's kind of fun to have a goofy one.
That doesn't attach yet. Yep, I remember that sort of thing from the last one I put together, where there's parts that just don't actually attach until later. It's not a huge problem. It's just confusing at first because you're like, this part's just dangling here. And nope, that's actually correct. It is just supposed to dangle there for a bit.
You know, I would say that Bandai also puts out some kind of ridiculous kits too, though.
Oh,
Like
that's true. Like, I'm not. There's no arguing that.
like the EXS and like the booster, whatever. That thing's goofy as hell.
Yeah. All right. Now to figure out how these parts actually go on here. Wait a minute. Okay, so that actually goes. That's going to be weird. Not that anything about this kit has not been weird so far. Okay, so it goes like that.
I mean, as long as it looks cool when it's done.
I'm
You
pretty
know.
sure that will be the case. It's just this thing, like many Kotobukiya kits, just has a very weird assembly process. I guess that's in as far as it'll go. Alright, that one went in a little easier, so I'm not so worried about that one. Now, it goes like that. Yeah, because that goes out the back. Because that's the connection points for that. Okay, alright.
I will say one thing about panel lining this way is that I am going through a hell of a lot of Q-tips.
Oh yeah, you definitely do.
Hell of a lot of them. And I'm like, I'm not like using soaked Q-tips. I put the lighter fluid on them, and then I like, sort of squeeze them out a bit using basically a paper towel. But still, once it's black, it's useless. So
I just use them until they fray. I mean, like normally I'm not cleaning up as much that I need to that it's gonna get like super black unless I'm cleaning way too early, and then just pulling way too much out of the grooves.
yeah, that's true. I was just for simplicity saying that, but yeah, usually I also will basically when it stops being effective.
Right. Oh nope, I got turned around. All right, so that goes there. Then that goes there. All right, I'm following so far. I'm picking up what you're putting down here, Kit. And then these two pieces kind of sandwich into there, it looks like. I think. Let's see. Is that correct? I think that's right. That is so weird, though. I think that's correct. There we go. Alright, so right now these are all being held in by pure force of will. So hopefully the next step is to secure these, because right now I am not confident that they are going to stay where they're supposed to be. Okay, looks like it kind of is. Alright. Feeling a little better about this now.
That's good. Hey, when you spray Tamiya, you do 70-30, right?
For thinning? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Seems to work well. I want to double check.
I mean, honestly, I don't really judge it like the only time that I really start like measuring is if I'm doing the primer. And then I go and I look and I'm like, all right, I'm going to need, 50-50 on this Mr. Surfacer primer. But other than that, I just eyeball it as I'm mixing it and like, that's not quite consistent enough, or, that's too watery or whatever.
That Mr. Hobby stuff, I don't know what the deal is, but like I couldn't find that 1200 anywhere.
It is not easy to find, but it's probably the best primer I've ever used.
Yeah, because I was gonna look for that because I figured it would be cheaper than that ridiculous stuff that Nani or whatever was talking about, but I just couldn't find it.
Really?
Yeah,
Like,
I found Mr. Surfacer stuff, but none of the 1200.
Well, last time I looked on Bluefin, they were sold out at the distributor, so that might be why you can't find it. But I'll see if I can find some and link to you. Like, there's a few places that I keep an eye out on supplies and stuff that may have some in stock.
Okay, cool. Because I figure that stuff probably doesn't cost $16 a bottle. Or does it?
It's not super cheap.
But is it $16? Because that Nazca stuff was $16.
I'd have to go look. I don't remember how much I paid for mine. I got it a couple years ago.
Gotcha.
All right. I need. I'll do that once I get this chest secured and and I'm not concerned about these wires being all flippy floppy.
Oh boy, I think I'm out of gloss black.
Oof.
Yeah. Got plenty of flat black.
But gloss black is what makes the silver work.
Yeah, exactly.
Ah.
And yeah, I'm not like being super precise about my measurements. I'm just sort of doing like, 3 eyedroppers worth to 7 eyedroppers worth.
Right, right.
Yep, that's the last of that. Should I mix in some semi-gloss black? Because I have that.
Man, I don't know what to tell you on that. That I've not experimented that far. There we go.
Well, let's see how it goes.
PCB. Alright, so that goes in like that. There we go. That's snapped in. Alright, we got those contact points back there. They're held in place. That's good. Can the head move without pulling any wires out, looks like. Or at least if it did pull any wires out, it didn't sound like it did, so that's good. I didn't feel anything suddenly tug and then break free, and I'm like, alright, I think we're good.
That's a terrifying feeling.
Yeah, where you're like pulling something, you're like, there's a little bit of resistance there, and then suddenly there's no resistance, and you're like, oh shit.
Yep. Every time I have to disassemble a kit for some reason, I'm terrified.
Yep.
Because there are all sorts of tiny little plastic snaps that you don't even think about.
Yep.
So a cool thing about taking it apart is I feel like I get to know the kit better.
Yeah.
Um, because usually by the time I'm reassembling it, I don't even have to look at the directions anymore. And if it's an HG, I just generally don't have to look at the directions. But um,
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff where it's like intuitive. You can look at it and you're like, I know exactly where that part's going to end up.
yeah,
Like, I get that feel. Kotobukiya kits that are not frame arms kits, you can't do that.
even the hexagears.
The hexagears, slightly, but not even. Like, they're not that easy. There's some parts where you're like, man, I'm not certain what this is supposed to be. And then, like, a third of the way through the kit, you finally get it. And you're like, oh, okay, that's pretty clever.
Mm.
But,
Yeah,
like,
I was
yes.
actually looking at the hexagear kits on Gundam Planet the other day, and I remember you had talked about getting a GI Joe to put in the cockpit of yours.
They don't fit.
Well, Hexagear or Koto appears to sell Hexagear GI Joe figures.
Well,
So
they are their own little model kits, and they are
yeah,
tiny, and they're also
okay,
quite terrible.
okay.
Like the actual
I just saw
governors,
that.
they look cool,
Yeah.
but man, they do not want to stay together at all for any reason.
Ah,
Like there's a lot of cool stuff going for them. Like don't get me wrong, but like staying in one piece is not part of it. So, but yeah, I thought maybe a GI Joe would fit in there, but they're the scale for the Hexagear are uh, uh, right at 3 inches tall,
mm-hmm.
and GI Joes are 3 3/4 inches tall.
Oh, so it's taller than the Hexagear. Oh, or you're saying the governors are.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So like if you chopped off the a GI Joe at the knees, they'd fit in, but it would look really awkward. But yeah, like this kit, I mean, I worked for 3 hours almost just on the legs, and it was
Oh
very hard
wow,
to tell until like I was done with them how they actually went together.
wow.
It's and they're probably some of the most intricate feet parts I have ever built on a model kit ever.
Like just the feet or the feet and the legs?
Just the feet.
Wow.
Like this it's a pretty intense build. There's a lot of stuff on this kit that's like, wow, that's how that works. Okay, I sure.
How much was it?
This one, do you want retail price or how much I ended up having to pay for it price?
Uh, what's the retail first?
Retail on this one I think was about 60-ish.
Okay, but I'm thinking maybe they don't make it anymore.
Oh god, no. It's
Yeah,
Kotobukiya. They haven't reprinted a Super Robot Wars kit ever.
yeah.
So this one I ended up paying right at 200 for it,
Okay.
with shipping and everything. But the general going price is about 500.
Jesus.
Yeah. But it's also like probably one of the most iconic of the Super Robot Wars kits from the games and everything.
Yeah, I'm not really familiar with them. Like I've heard the name, but I've never played any of the games.
The original games were really interesting because they were literally like, okay, let's get as many of the like mecha anime licenses as we can and
Hmm.
then put them all in a game where they all fight each other. Like, and it was a tactical RPG sort of thing, which was fantastic. It was super fun because you had like Macross, Gundam, Mazinger, you know Galgaigar, all of that stuff, all in a single game.
Hmm.
And like you could get all the different pilots, and like the storylines were really cool, and they always had like their own unique like bad guys and stuff in it. Um, but over the years, they started losing the rights to a lot of the licenses that they had, which was unfortunate.
Yeah, I'm sure it all
But
got way more expensive.
yeah, but at the same time, they had already built up sort of a like canon roster of their own like characters and everything.
Okay.
So that's where the like Super Robot Wars OG generation is, or the original generation.
Okay.
Um, and that's what this kit is from the original generation stuff. And I mean, it's they're fun stuff, and like some of the designs are really cool. But the original games were very much the like let's just throw everything we can get into a pile and like have all of them fight each other.
Yeah. It's like they want to settle the playground arguments about whose super robot is cooler.
Kind of. And I think over the last like couple of years, they've actually gone back to that and have picked up a lot more licenses because people were like, "Hey, we actually liked that. We could have
It's
these
like free
Valkyries fighting these
advertising.
Gundams." Yeah. So I think they've actually gone back to that with some of the newer Super Robot Wars games. So that's where
Okay.
you see like a lot of the SD Gundams and everything come from, or originally was from the Super Robot Wars stuff, and then they kind of did their own SD Gundam thing. I mean, SD Gundams existed before that, but like the real big push was with the Super Robot Wars stuff originally.
Okay. Yeah, because I think SD Gundam started as a like little opening vignettes before Char's counterattack screenings, right?
Yeah. Although why Char had to counterattack, we'll never know. He was just like, no, done being Kotobukiya. Now we're gonna drop another colony.
Yeah, I don't
Okay,
know.
Char.
I haven't gotten there yet,
Yeah,
but
like I'm
I
guessing
will.
there's some more story to it, but it's just like having watched Zeta
Mhm.
and being like, oh, he's kind of a good guy now, like fighting against Xeon, like that's cool. And then it's just like, nope, back to being a bad guy, and it's like, but what about all that stuff that happened where you were, Quattrobagina? Nope, doesn't matter.
Well, I mean, I haven't watched all of Zeta, but I feel like Xeon isn't the ultimate enemy in that show, at least so far.
No,
It's
it's
the
they've got the
Titans.
AUG and the Titans and like that whole
Yeah.
thing going on. But then like the Neo Xeon stuff shows back up and they make a big appearance in Double Zeta, which is also before Char's counterattack, and yeah.
Yeah, I just got to the episode where Xeon shows back up in Zeta,
Yep.
but I'm just not enjoying it at all, and I'm just kind of watching it as because I just want to know more than anything.
Yeah, Zeta's real depressing.
Mm.
Like it kind of has a halfway decent ending, but it's also still really depressing. It's not a happy Gundam show.
Nope. So I've got three more of these little metal tube pipe end things, and I have run out of places to put them, I think.
Are they just extras then?
I guess, I mean, it only told me where to put. It only showed in the picture where 6 of them go, and they gave me 15 of them.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
I just ended up looking for like small panel line circles and then drilling holes and putting the metal in.
Fair enough.
And that seems to look all right, but I've run out of those. So
Right.
uh, guess I'll just count these as extras then.
Sounds about right.
I'm about ready to be done with this metal part business anyways.
What, they're not the best things in the world and the most awesome?
Look, they're cool as hell. They're also annoying to put in. And they're kind of scary. Like I never like drilling holes in kits that aren't in the original instructions, but you have to for these,
Right.
you know.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I got the Rodams. I'm like, oh, these metal parts are supposed to go on here, and they're already set up to be in there, like easy enough. All right, cool.
Yeah,
You
that's
you
something
just
I'm
stick them
curious
on.
about. Like, I'd like to see a kit where the metal parts are part of the design instead of an addition after the fact.
That's essentially what's going on with this Rodams. So
Yeah. Because they also had, there was another, so there's a lot of actually different third party kits of these metal parts for the Sazabi.
yeah,
And the one that I got was about 45 bucks, like 50 something after shipping, I want to say.
all right.
But they have one of them that's like $90. Um, and that one, in the directions I saw online, what you do is instead of using glue, you heat up the metal parts.
Hmm.
So that they, um, whatchamacallit, and then you slide them like into the hole. And then when they cool off, they, I guess, get bigger, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but you know,
Yeah, because metal
that's,
expands when it heats. It doesn't shrink when it heats. So that,
yep.
yeah, how's that
But
supposed to work?
that's what the directions said. So let me see if I can find it. I'll link it to you.
Are you supposed to heat up the plastic, maybe?
I don't think so because that'll just melt it.
Huh. That's what I was thinking too.
Uh, oh, it's here. It's on this. Yeah, no, it says to heat up the metal parts. Here, I'm linking it to you.
All right.
It's on that Samuel decal site that Orb likes so much.
Yeah, I'll take a look at it here in a sec. I want to get this torso piece as much together as I can before I lose my place on it.
Yeah, no kidding.
All right. Ah, yes. Kotobukiya says no to hollow parts. Fill those juckers in with other parts. Even if it's hollow parts that would never, ever, ever be seen because they're going under other pieces, this kit fills them in.
Well, it's gonna be heavier then.
It is. And these, like the last one I did, the Wildwurger, that was a hefty boy.
Mm-hmm.
And this one, like the legs and the arms are both already pretty heavy, but they've got pretty much all OBS joints. Like there's some polycaps in here, but they're like holding minor pieces together.
Gotcha.
But like it's all ABS joints, which means this guy's going to be really solid when it's all said and done. There we go. There we go. And that goes in there. And all of that comes together. There. It's a fairly well put together torso for the moment.
Right.
Okay, looking at this, my guess is the way that this is supposed to work is that you heat up the metal part and it melts the plastic as it goes in. And then the
Well, I looked
plastic
at it a
just
little
pulls
bit
around.
closer, and it looks like what's actually going on is that they give you some sort of plastic sleeving with it.
Okay.
And if you look at the pictures, they cut off a piece of that plastic sleeving, put it on the metal, and then melt the plastic sleeving.
Ah, okay.
So I'm guessing that bonds to the. So I guess it pressure bonds by shrinking to the metal, and then bonds to the plastic like plastic will do.
Ah, fair enough. There, by the way, there's the Mr. Surfacer 1200 in stock at New Type for $5 for a tiny little bottle of it.
At New Type,
Yep.
that was where I was looking for it, and they didn't have it a little
It's
bit
right
ago.
there, man. I just sent you a link.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at it. I think they must have just gotten it back in or something. Because when I ordered, this was when I was ordering my F91 that I was looking at it, and they had the 1000, I think.
Yeah, the 1000 you can get in the spray bottles. I don't. Can you get 1200 in spray? I guess you can get 1200 in spray, but I've never actually seen it in stock anywhere, so fair enough.
I'm trying to see here. Yeah, see, they have it labeled as low stock as well.
Right.
But yeah, see, they had the 1000 the other day, which now they're out of, and they had this Mr. Mahogany surfacer.
It's the same thing. It's just brown. It's just a
And
different
the
color.
Mr. Finishing Surfacer White.
Yeah, which is also pretty much the same thing, just different color.
Gotcha.
Let's see here. Let's file that down.
So I'm done with the metal parts. And I think I have a little bit more panel lining I should probably do before I coat it. But I think I'm going to leave that for later in the week. Because I would like to switch gears and actually build something.
What? No, not allowed. You get back to those metal parts.
Well, they're done. Metal parts are done.
And you're going to gloss coat over top of the metal?
Yeah. I mean, I might mask them. We'll see. I have some extra metal parts that I'll probably do a test on.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, I'd be kind of wary of that. Not that I think there'd be any problem with it, but, like, if it takes away the lustrousness of the metal, then what was the point of it all?
I don't think it'll do that.
I don't either.
Stuff,
it's just...
That pledge stuff is real shiny.
It really is. I mean, it's floor polisher, man. It's got to be super shiny.
Yeah.
But it's also very smooth and self-leveling. Like, it is the perfect, like, gloss top coat.
It also smells all right, which is good.
Yeah, you get
You
that
don't
nice
get like a
lemony
nasty
scent.
Yeah, you don't get like a nasty chemical smell like you do with the regular spray can type stuff.
Yep. There we go. That is a tight polycap. Alright, fair enough. And I'll say this about these Super Robot Wars kits. They did not skimp on making sure every single thing on here is color and part separated.
Oh, that's good.
So many little parts.
One of the things that I really dislike is using stickers for color separation.
Well, if you ever pick up one of these kits, you're never going to have to do that. But
That's one of the
then
things
again,
I hate about the IBO high grades. They all do it to varying degrees.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a huge IBO fan to begin with, and I've built a lot of those high grades. I've never purchased one of those high grades directly, and every single one I've put together, I've just been like, meh.
They fall apart really easy is the other problem. The waste is awful.
Yep.
But like I really like the IBO designs. Big fan of them. But
to an extent, they're pretty decent. I don't know. They're just really not my they're just not my style, I guess.
They're very not Gundam kits.
It's not even that. They just don't look like they'd work.
They don't look particularly robot-y. At least not what we. They don't look like a tank. You know, they don't look like a walking tank.
True, but like at the same time, like I like designs that don't look like walking tanks either. But I like that like I think the GNs from 00 I think are really cool looking. But at the same time, they also aren't your typical Gundam design, but they also look like they can work. I don't know. The IBO kits just never to me looked like they were something that you could actually like build and have operate. I guess it's mostly because like you've got those super thin inner frames, and then they're all running around with these like ridiculously giant like weapons that they're swinging around because they don't use beams. So I'm just like, okay, I don't what? Like that's a really big weapon you got there on that tiny frame. You should just be falling over every time that thing tries to swing it.
Well, a lot of it depends on what materials everything is made out of.
I mean, I guess that too, but like they never really address it, so it's just kind of like, okay, I guess this thing's gonna swing this giant mace and hit a guy. Cool. I don't know. It just always feels like it's like the weapons are just beyond impractical. Like there's impractical weapons. Like okay, I roll on this giant cannon, and then there's like this tiny little mech is gonna hit something with this huge mace and not fall over. That stretches my credulity.
I mean, none of these things work really.
Oh no, I completely agree.
Like walking robots are not a practical military technology. But yeah, I get what you're saying. Like to me, the IBO kits look the most like animals.
Yeah, and I think that's the intended point of them, is that's how they're kind of supposed to look.
Well, the stated point is that they're supposed to, what they've said in like interviews and stuff, is that they were supposed to look like they wanted it to be like medieval, like people in suits of armor fighting. And which is why there's no beam weapons. Well, there's one beam weapon, but for the most part, there's no beam weapons. Is because they wanted it to look like brutal medieval combat.
Right.
That's what they've said, at least. Whether it actually accomplishes that or not, that's up to you to determine for yourself. But that's what they said in like interviews. And then also, they're all named after demons.
Fair enough.
So they're also supposed to be kind of like demonic looking, like Barbatos and Gujan and Flauros, which kind of threw me that there's a demon named Flauros, but you know.
I mean, I think the medieval knights thing was done better by Escaflowne, but that was like, we are literally, knights in giant suits of armor.
Yeah.
That also turns into a dragon, but ignore the dragon stuff, or don't because it's awesome.
I mean, that's a more like a super robot show, isn't it? Kind of.
Oh yeah, but I mean, when was the last time a like Gundam show was actually real robot? Like, I'd say Double O probably comes close. I don't consider IBO to be real robot because like there's no real grunt suits. Like every one that they
Yeah,
have is some
there is.
sort of like, really? Which
They're
ones?
absolutely Greys. The Grazes.
Oh yeah, I forget about
There's
the
tons
Greys.
of those. Yeah. There's other ones too. I just can't think of them offhand. But yeah, there's a few of them in IBO. It's just that they're all controlled by Gallarhorn basically. So that's probably why you would, in your brain you'd probably think that there weren't any, because they all belong to Gallarhorn except
That's
for the
true.
ones that Tekkadan gets and some like space pirates. But and actually, if you took the weapons away and you're not talking about like how ridiculous their weapons are compared to their suits, I would say that, like, I'm looking at my MG Barbatos right now, and I would say that more than any other Gundam, that looks like one that would work in the real world if I took
True.
away
Like
its
that's
giant
but
weapons.
it's the weapons that are always the problem for me with IBO though. It's like, okay, the giant maces and stuff is like, that's, and I get it. Like that's kind of the point of, like, especially in the model kits. It's like, yeah, these things are big and ridiculous, and I'm like, the model kit can't even hold it up, man. Like, and that's just static plastic.
Well, there are plenty of kits that can't hold up their accessories. It's
Oh,
not
that's
just the
true.
Barbatos, and it's not just IBO kits.
Oh no, that is definitely true.
So
But then you just say that they're space type and they're not supposed to have to worry about the weight, so.
yeah, I
And you
don't
come
know.
up with excuses as to why your favorite kit isn't a piece of garbage because the joints are made out of, the
The
weakest material on
problem
the
with
planet.
with the space argument is that, yeah, they don't weigh anything, but they still have mass. And if you swing something with a lot of mass in space, there's no friction to stop it from moving.
Yep.
So what actually would probably happen is it would tear your mech's arm off.
No, it would just fling the mech around. Like suddenly your mech is now drifting through space, and you have to like.
Well, that depends on the strength of the joints. What's stronger, the force of you swinging that thing, or the durability of your mech's joints?
Yeah, true.
So, but I don't know. I try not to think about that too much. I just say, "Wow, cool robot."
No, man, these are the things that need to keep you up at night. These are the
Like the
important
Sazabi.
questions in life.
Sazabi is the goofiest freaking thing ever. This thing is way too big.
Oh yeah, I mean, and even more
No
ridiculous
way
is like
this
the
thing would work.
Nightingale. Like, why does the Nightingale? Like, why does that thing exist? There's no way that thing is anywhere near practical or could be effective in any capacity. And yet,
I mean, the
Nightingale.
Nightingale is effectively a tank without tank treads. I mean, that's what it looks like, right? It's just armor. That's all it is. I mean, I've never seen it. I've only seen pictures of the model kit. I've never seen like it in action or anything. But is that in Char's counterattack? I don't even know.
No, it's it's from the manga that the Hainu is from.
Oh,
So it's basically uh the manga version of the Zazabi. Okay, that goes in there.
You know what I would love a kit of is Big O.
There is a. I don't know. I don't know if there's one of Big O. I know there's one of Big Duo, the bad guy student from that.
There is Big O, but the only I found one on Amazon, but it's like a 144 or something around there. And I don't know if it has an official scale, and I don't think it's made anymore because it's like $250.
Yeah, probably not.
And there was no way I was paying that for that.
And why do I get the feeling it's probably a Kotobukiya kit if it's that much and also not being made anymore?
I don't know, because I think that's a Sunrise anime, isn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, Kotobukiya has done like a lot of stuff that is Sunrise, so
Oh, okay.
like I think technically the Super Robot Wars stuff is Sunrise.
Okay. Um, but yeah, I don't know who made it. I just know I don't think it's in print anymore, and it was very expensive, and it looked like a very old kit. So
I mean, there are tons of uh, there are tons of franchises out there that I'd love to see kits for that will probably never get.
yeah, I just have some nostalgia for Big O because of, Cartoon Network or whatever.
Right. I had another friend who is a huge Big O fan as well.
I don't know if I'd call myself a huge fan, but like I have like vivid memories of like being up late at night as a kid watching it on TV, and it seeming like the most like mysterious thing ever.
I totally get it.
Plus, it's just a really weird looking robot.
It really is.
So, and I like those. Like if I would like to get what's that new one called, the HG that's like $50 from Zeta. Um, just came out. It's like pink.
The Boundock?
Yeah, I'd like to do that one, but I just right now $50 for an HG is not something I'm terribly interested in. But I like weird kits like that.
Yeah, but I mean, it's also huge though. Is like the thing.
Yeah, no, I know it's huge, but like I'm not buying the Penelope either.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not. I have no interest in either the Penelope or the G Gundam or whatever it is, however it's pronounced. Oh, come on.
Because like a lot of times when I go into like the hobby shop, looking, I really only buy like HGs there because their selection isn't that good for RGs and MGs.
Right.
And a lot of times when I go in there looking for an HG, I'll just try and find the goofiest looking one I can and get that one. Like I've got a HG Gaza C, or however you say it.
Yep.
That thing's goofy, but it was fun.
All right.
It was actually a pretty solid HG though. Like I can definitely shake it around and it stays intact.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Is that incorrectly? Probably not. But as long as it doesn't fall out, I'm not going to complain about it. There we go. So this kit does something that I've never seen any kit do before. And it's got these green panels that have no, like normally they'd be like shiny foil stickers, but instead of doing a like a foil sticker underneath or anything like that, no, they actually have shiny metallic parts that go underneath the piece to give it that reflective look.
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah, these kits are kind of ridiculous in the sort of shit they do. And I don't know why. like, I don't know if it was one of those things where it's like, this is going to be our premier line or something, but like, they do stuff in these Super Robot Wars kits that I just have never seen them do in any other line that they've ever put out. Like, not even the Metal Gear stuff is as detailed as these things are.
Man, those are expensive.
Yep. Mostly because they get reprinted once in a blue moon, and they get printed in very small amounts, and people just gobble them up because it's Metal Gear.
Yeah, I mean, they have them in stock periodically on like Gundam Planet, but like I like Metal Gear, but I don't like $200 like Metal Gear.
Like, yeah. I don't think I paid nearly that much for my Metal Gear Rex. I think I only paid like 100 or so.
Okay.
But then again, that was a few years ago when they first came out. Well, not when they first came out, but back when they were far more relevant. So, all right. What's next? Ah, yes. Backpack to hold the batteries. That's what's next.
I want to figure out if I can take some of those like 30-minute missions effect sets and do some sort of effect setup with these funnels on the Sazabi.
Yeah, the ones that that come with the real grade high new or the real grade new are really good for those because they're almost the exact right size. And I think, and it's just a 30-minute missions effect part. It's not a
You're talking about
you don't have to get the RG new stuff.
You're talking about the ones that come with the RG New Gundam, the burst effects or whatever, the jet effects. Sorry, jet
Yeah.
effects set.
Yep.
Okay. See, I have that because I bought that jet effects set and then ended up posing my. I didn't buy like the official RG New effects set. I just bought some jet effects parts. And that works for those fin funnels, but I'm not quite sure how I would get it to work for the Sazabi funnels.
I mean, glue.
Okay. Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Like, I don't think there's much else you can do with it, really.
I was hoping not to glue it.
I mean, they're not going to just stick in, is the thing.
Because they do for the fin funnels.
Kinda, yeah.
No, they absolutely do.
Yeah, I know, but they're not. It's not as secure as it could be.
No, but they're not moving.
That's true.
Anytime soon.
That is true.
Whereas with the Sazabi funnels, I mean, like the ones you get in like the official kit or whatever, because I was looking at pictures of it, and those look like custom effects for that kit, because they have the like jet effect coming out of the funnel racks and like curving over the Sazabi.
Yeah, those definitely are custom. You are completely correct about that. All right, so this goes like this, and then into here. Alright, and that's not going to be flush because it's got that piece of metal in between. That's fine. Hopefully I didn't screw up the wiring on this, so once I get the batteries in, I'll be able to test it. And if it doesn't work, well, I'll just cry a little bit. There we go. Alright. Got that upside down. Come on. There we go. They should have labeled that in order of how you have to put it in, but nope. Didn't do that. That's fine. Because there is definitely an order that those have to go in. That is one thing about this kit, is everything has its correct place and everything has an order it has to go in, and it won't work any other way. So you're not going to screw that up, that's for sure. There we go. I mean, as much as I love this kit, there is a point where it's just like, oh man, are we still not done building this yet? Wow. All right, I got 4 more pages to go. Okay.
Yeah, I feel that way a lot. I always underestimate how long the accessories are going to take on a kit.
Oh yeah.
So I always like am hyping myself up to like finish a kit, and then it's like, no, here's another like 2 hours of building accessories.
This one's not even building accessories. This is just like, oh my god, every piece of this kit is so intricate and so part separated. And you have to pay attention to all of it. You can't just be like, yep, this goes here and this goes here and it's done. It's like, nope, that's probably not how that's going to work. So you have to, like, it's a mental battle.
Yeah, I kind of felt that way when I was building my RG unicorn, though that was probably largely because it was like my 3rd kit or something, or 4th kit. So, which probably isn't the best idea. But, you know.
What, for whatever. RG unicorn to be your 3rd kit?
Yeah. I think it was my 4th. I think my 3rd was the MG Red Frame Kai.
Okay. Like, yeah, the unicorn is also, like, you got so many little panels and everything that have to be in the right place for the transformation to work and all of that, so.
Right, exactly. And it all sort of, like, fits together in a pretty precise manner.
Yep.
So, it was just... It's not that I didn't enjoy it. It was more that, like, by the time I was, like, finishing up, I kind of just wanted to be done.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that's exactly what's going on here, but it's kind of close.
Yeah.
Like, there's definitely a bit of the whole, like, oh man, this is still going on.
Yep.
All right, get in there. I know that's how that fits. There we go. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm enjoying this build, but it's an endurance thing, man.
Yeah, I mean, eventually you kind of just want to, like, you know, work on something else.
It's not that. Like, I want to get it finished, but it's like, it just is. It's relentless with the like pace of the build, right? Like, there's some builds that are a little bit more relaxed, where it's like, okay, yeah, I'm just gonna I put these couple of pieces together and like then sit this aside for a moment and work on this other part of it and then set that aside when I'm done with that and all of that. But no, this kit is it's like nope, you can't actually leave this piece sitting because it's, otherwise it's not going to hold together, or there's, these other pieces that have to go in to really complete it, and like it's hard to just set a part of this kit aside and work on another part of it because
Ah,
it assembles so like I mean like the leg once the arms are done, the arms are done. The legs are done, it's legs, right? Same with the torso. But there's so much of it that's also like, this piece is like you can't just like do the upper leg and then walk away from it because you're
right.
not done. Like it's all one big like piece.
Ah,
So okay. Now we're getting to where we're putting the batteries in. Sounds good. Hmm. Is there no power switch on this one? The other one actually had like a little power switch. I'm not seeing one for this one, so I guess it's just push the backpack all the way in as the power switch. I guess I'll find out. I don't even know what I'm gonna work on after this. I know next weekend I'm gonna be doing my perfect grade 00 riser because it's a long weekend. But
oh yeah.
I'm probably gonna get bored at some point during the week and want to put something together, and I don't know what I want to do.
Well, you still got that Rodams to do.
Yeah, I'm not putting that together during the week. That's another like vacation weekend kind of project.
Yeah.
Like if I do that one, it'll probably be like, all right, I'm taking a week off of work and just working on that. I got the HG Ryro, the Guy Plant TR5.
Okay.
So I might do that Monday and Tuesday. That seems like the kind of high grade that's going to take more than one sitting.
Yeah, some of them can for sure.
Yeah, but I've gotten so used to doing like little high grades, like the Charzaku 2, the Origin kit. Like that took me like 3 hours. Like, meh, just
Hmm.
blow through this.
I mean, some of the newer ones are starting to get just way more complex than the older ones.
Oh yeah, I mean that's for sure. Like people want more value from their high grades. Like you look at the
Infinite Justice.
yep, that's the one I was about to bring up. Like it's fun and I like it, but it is
Like
substantially more
in,
complicated.
it's like in between a real grade and a high grade.
Yep.
It's not quite real grade complexity, but it's significantly more than your average high grade.
Yep.
The wrist joints on the SASB are not great.
What?
Nope. I wish that came. I also, ah, unless I screwed it up somehow, but I don't think I did. I was trying to give it like the ridiculous is it a beam hawk?
Oh,
Um,
the axe thing.
yeah, I was gonna try and have it hold that, but the wrist would just not keep it up.
Oof.
So back to the, I've got it like hidden blade style. 'Cause it's got this beam sabers are in its wrist.
Right. Alright, does that go like that, I guess? Come on. No? Does it not go that way? Everything I got going on would indicate that it's supposed to go that way, but it's not going that way. So it goes that way? I thought I just tried it that way, though. I don't want to try and force it because I'll bend the metal. That's not going to be any good.
Yeah, don't want that.
There's no indicator here as to if there's a specific way this is supposed to go. I think I see what the problem is here. That's unfortunate if that is the problem. I think it is. Because that one didn't have that problem. Alright, I think I know what's going on. Looks like they didn't stamp the metal out quite right on this one.
Mm,
So I might have to trim this peg a little bit. That's no fun, but I think I'm going
that's
to have
frustrating.
to. A little bit. A little bit. Come on now. I'm not happy about that, but there's not much I can do about it either. Wrong way. Yeah, that helped a little bit. That's what the problem is. That metal's not stamped out right. Nothing that can't be fixed, though.
Yeah. Just wish you didn't have to.
Exactly. Yeah, that's not going to go on unless I do that. Hell, I might have to just take those pegs off altogether. That's going to suck.
When is that kit from?
2009, I want to say.
Oh, you ever say like 2009 and think in your head that wasn't that long ago and then realize it's over a decade?
Nope, because I go, man, that was a long time ago almost immediately. Like, yep, I remember 2009. That doesn't make it not that long ago. It just makes me old.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I had to do that. But that's exactly the problem. God damn it. That's going to be annoying to try and fix. Because I can't do anything about the metal. Dedication of Kotobukiya. These totally could have been molded parts onto this other piece, but it's not. Good on them. These are some complicated thrusters. I guess multi-layered is the right way to put it. Thing. There we go. Hey, Dipper, what's up?
How's the bill?
It's going good. A little bit frustrating trying to get some of these pieces together, and it is a relentless machine of a build that will not stop, but otherwise good.
So you just need the hips left, right?
The backpack and the hips, yeah. Finishing up the backpack now, and then the hips should go on pretty quickly, I would think. But it is I like the build. I'm not complaining too much about it, but it seems like every time you want to, like, you're like, okay, this next piece should be easy. You look at it and you're like, nope, that's a lot of parts that go into something very tiny.
Yeah, good thing.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's, part separation is fantastic on this thing. Color separation is fantastic. But it's not like, there's a lot of Bandai builds where you can build a part and then set it down and walk away from it. Or, just go work on something else for a little bit and then come back to it. And this one, it's like, nope. The way this stuff is built, you kind of have to do it all in one go for a lot of these pieces because they just, they don't come together and work unless you have it all together at one time.
Pretty much you need to have all of them together, like, to hold it in place.
Yep. So like the neck parts, right? Like that whole thing, there's like 14 pieces that have to come together at one time in order to just make it so that it's solid, and you can't just leave it there. It's so weird. But I like it. I mean, it's a challenging build in that, you can't just if you've built a lot of high grades or master grades, there's a lot of times you can just kind of like look at a piece and go, yep, I know where that's going to go. And you really can't do that with this one. You actually have to pay attention to what you're doing.
Like, I'm looking at the manual right now. Like there's not a lot of pages, but in one page there are a lot of fucking parts.
Yep. It's but it's a fun build. I mean, it's one of those you kind of have to pay attention to every step because every piece has its own particular space that it goes in, and it won't go like even the mirrored pieces that look like they're the same on both sides. No, they're not. They have a specific spot that they have to go in. And I almost screwed up on a couple of them because I wasn't paying attention to that. And I'm like, why isn't this piece going in? So I'm like, thinking I'm going to have to force it. And then I look at it. I'm like, oh, no. That's not where that piece even goes. Okay. It goes on the other side.
Makes sense.
Ooh. So what are you working on these days?
Nothing. Not really. Still
enough.
waiting for my liner to come in.
Okay. There. Thrusters are done on the backpack. And let's see, what's next? Alright, now it gets into the chest build. So I think if I put the... Well, I thought I was done. This piece wants to fall out. Alright, let's get it back in then. No, go in. That's okay. I think this is the one I screwed up anyway, so I'm okay with it paying out.
So which step are you on right now? 44 or 45?
Just finished 45, so I'm moving to 46. After I fix this piece that fell out because it wasn't in correctly. Come on. There we go.
The batteries on the backpack?
Yeah. There we go. But that's what I'm going to try now is putting the backpack on and seeing if this thing lights up the way it's supposed to. Oh, yeah. There we go. We have light. It is kind of weird, though, that the way that you turn the light on and off is by pushing the backpack all the way in or slightly disconnecting it. But I'm okay with that. That's pretty bright, too. Although it's kind of hard to see with all the lights on and everything, so I have to turn the lights out in a bit and get some pictures of it with the lights on. But yeah, it looks like I'm almost done. I just got to build the waist and then get everything together. It doesn't, thank God, it does not have any extra weapons that have to go onto it that are built separately.
Yeah, pretty much all with weapon on the arms already.
Yep, which is fantastic. So, I mean, not that I dislike weapons in general, but this is one of those kits where it's like, okay, all right, let's just get this done. No weapons. I'm okay with that. And the arm gimmicks work really well, so I'm happy with that. And the shoulder gimmicks and all of those work.
Does the roulette spin?
Oh, yeah. So it actually, like, you have to pull the little piece out on the bottom, and then it flips out, and you can spin it to, like, and you can actually pull the chamber completely off if you want to, though I don't see why you would want to. But then you can put it back in, and then it spins in place without actually coming loose or flopping out or anything. It's all pretty solid. So I'm, like, super happy with how that actually was built. One thing I have seen about this kit, though, is that the instruction manual gives, like, the scale of the parts to each other is all... It's weird. It's hard to tell how big they are actually next to each other, so you go looking on the runner for a piece, and if you're not looking at the numbers just trying to find the piece, you're like, man, I don't see how I'm missing this piece, and then you find out that it's, like, twice as big as what you thought you were looking for.
Yeah. See that sometimes in Kotobukiya kits.
Yeah, especially these older ones, but, you know, no big deal. Like, it's I figured it out. This kit does have some of the most intricate feet I've ever built in my life, though. Like, the sheer number of joints and parts that went into building just the feet. I mean, it took me just almost 2 hours on the feet last night, which is kind of nuts.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. There's a lot.
Yep.
Like, just the front along, like, 8 parts, most.
And it's got like, the way the joint works, it can, like, extend the feet down a lot, and, like, there's a lot going on just in those feet. I will say this, the LED on this one doesn't seem quite as bright as the one on the Wildwurger, though.
I don't know. Maybe it used to be bright, but, like, it's 13 years old now, right?
Yeah, this is from 2009, I think.
Yeah, probably it used to be bright.
Yeah. I mean, the Wildwurger was only from 2011, but it was still pretty bright. But then again, it's, you know, it wasn't like it's not like light up the entire room bright, but it seemed a little bit more noticeable. But then again, that one, like, the LED sits a little further forward in the face than this one does. So this one's also got to be lighting up the horn and everything as well, so I can see why they have it positioned the way they do. And I'm guessing if I turn off all the lights, it'll look a little bit brighter.
So it's just the eye and the horns, right?
Yeah. I was kind of hoping that it would that they'd have it run down into the shoulders, but I can understand why they didn't do that. I wish this flowed a little better through here, but whatever. It'll look better when I clean it up. Right. Alright, there we go.
So I'm looking at the hook bind right now.
Yep.
The kit was from 2006, but the runner said 2003.
Yeah, I don't know. That one's kind of a weird one because I think it's based off of a different. I think the original 1/100 version, some of the runners were based off of kits from a different line entirely. Plus, like, I think that was back when Koto was doing some of their shenanigans with the like universal polycaps and crap that they did, and like joint pieces, which is why some of those. I think it's like their what line was it? There's a line that they put out that people have a really hard time finding replacement parts for because it's on kits that have not been reprinted in years. And I think it was like some of that stuff. Howdy, Hank.
Hello.
I am getting ready to purchase something on Nanda the second I fucking see it.
What's that?
The new Stormbringer. They've had one, it's sold out instantly, so I'm waiting for a second one.
Ah, okay.
And it's now around the time when Japan has woken up and they are starting to put stuff onto the website, so the second I see one, I'm going to grab it. If I can. It will probably be a pain in the ass.
Talking about the full armor one? With the gym dominance or whatever?
I'm in it entirely for gym turbulence.
Yeah, turbulence, my bad.
Yes, so for 7,000.
There's one up for 7,000 already?
Yep.
Well, there you go, Hank.
Yeah, it's not there. It's fucking out of stock.
I mean, what do you expect?
Yeah, but I mean, I need to see the next one that is in stock, because now that I know they are getting them, I need to grab it the second I can.
Alrighty.
So it's going to be a lot of refreshing and trying to work it out.
What happened to the one we were just talking about?
stocks.
Oh man, why is there so many things releasing now that I want? My wallet can't handle this.
Get a bigger wallet.
You know that's not how that works. Oh, fucking damn it. Perfect Grade Unleashed, Master Grade EX, Stormbringer, Real Grade, fucking Evangelion Unit 8. In January.
I was about to say, that one's not exactly super soon.
It's soon enough in the grand scheme of time.
It's like one month away anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I pretty got everything I want already prepaid for on pre-order, so I'm good. That's the MGEX is sitting behind me, so that's out of the way. The PG Unleashed is paid for. The RGEX set Zeong is paid for. I'm just waiting for my local store to get in their copy of the Verka Wing Custom.
You don't plan to buy anything on the 26?
What's that?
You don't plan to buy any P-Banda on the 26?
The stuff that they're putting up that they've shown so far is either stuff I've already got or things I don't care about. Like, it doesn't look like they're putting the RG perfectibility back up again, so I'm like, that's pretty much the only thing I was looking for. I mean, like, the 1/100 scale Efreet Snide, like, I kind of want that one, but I've already got the HG, so I don't really care that much.
HG is better because the knife is not stickers like the Ribbon 100.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought too. So like I don't really even need that. So I'm just kind of like, there's not a lot out that I want that I don't already have coming.
Like I'm tempting to get the Crash, the Shiki Crash.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the Hyakushiki though. Like, it's kind of cool, but at the end of the day, it's just like, I don't know. I don't like the overly plated gold stuff. Like, I did one Yakushiki, and I'm like, yep, I'm good.
As long as you got the 2.0, that's all you'll ever need.
Yep, that's what I have.
I've done one out of a gold-plated kit, and it was super shiny. And that was the Astro Gold frame.
I got the RG of that, and I loved it. But it's not just all gold, right? Like, I've got the PG Perfect Strike, and it's gold, but it's not all gold.
It's not all.
The Perfect Strike's gold? What?
Not the Perfect Strike. The Strike Freedom, my bad.
Oh, okay. I need to get the Phoenix.
The PG Phoenix? Go for it.
Yeah, just need to go all in. Once I've sorted out my ridiculous pre-order list. I forgot I've got the Barbatos parts coming in soonish.
The problem there is it's like, okay, I could build one of these, but I
sort
can't
of lost
build
my
all
interest
of them.
in that after I realised how cheap some of them looked.
Yeah.
Like, hollow bits. The mobile worker is so hollow.
Yeah, but I mean, it's tiny.
You're just gonna put it in the 6 form anyway.
Right? Like, that's what most people are gonna do.
Yeah. I mean, if you're the true Chad, you're just gonna make your own form. I can take that part from this, and this part from that, and that armor, and yeah, I'll have that. I want those wrist guns, have fun.
I mean, isn't that exactly like what they did in the anime? They're just like, we're gonna take these parts and put them over here now.
Yep.
There you go. Totally new loadout. Don't question it.
I have a slight problem, which is the fact, now that I'm thinking of buying stuff, the thing that I want came in stock while I was asleep last time. So I'm going to have to hope that one comes in stock while I'm still awake. Because if it comes into stock and I'm asleep for 8 hours, I've missed it. That's how fucking fast things go on Manda.
It's very true.
It's always
and it'll be the second one they've got, which will make it even harder to get a hold of. Not to mention the fact that it's very likely that I buy it and then somebody just buys it in real life.
Yeah. I mean, but I fully believe that they will re-release the FA Stormbringer sooner rather than later. Like, I think that one will hit P Bandai again and, like, get a reprint pretty quickly. It just seems like the kind of kit that they do that with. But I don't know. I mean, it took them a while to reprint just the regular Stormbringer, so we'll see. I'll get one eventually. I missed it when they sold out almost immediately on P Bandai US, so...
I don't worry about that kind of stuff because I know that Manda will just get loads of them. I get most of my P Bandai from Manda, okay?
I mean, you have to because you don't have P Bandai there.
Yeah, that is true, but I can get stuff from Hobby Frontline, but they always get it like 3 months later. I'm still waiting for Hobby Frontline to get my perfect grade or my master grade EX in. We're supposed to be doing some group build on it, and I'm the one keeping everybody behind. There's somebody in the US trying to log into my Patreon account. Fuck off.
What?
Yeah, country, US, IP, 173.195.15.245.
Why do you have a Patreon account?
Because I used to fucking Patreon to MGK.
Forgot about that.
Before I saw the light, so to speak. Come on, Manda, you've got one new Gundam item in the last fucking 12 hours, and it was an MS in Action camper.
Hey man, MS in Action camper is pretty awesome.
Yeah, but I'm waiting for MS in Action master grade fucking turbulence. Problem is that I can imagine I'm not the only one on our Discord looking out for the turbulence on Manda.
Dude, the turbulence looks amazing.
All I'm thinking is, I know there's a few items that I want that I'm actually competing with other people in the Discord for. I genuinely think I'm going to be competing with Forged for the DX Chogokin VF1 Roy Fokker.
Well, yeah, you two are the only one in the Macross channel that actually takes it seriously.
There is actually somebody in the Macross channel, I think it's you, Ambassador, that has 6 DXs.
I do. 7.
I'd like a Macross kit, but just...
Oh, these aren't even the kits, these are the figures.
I'd like something Macross, but I'll wait for the right one to show up.
In other words, Delta fucking Nightmare Plus.
Yeah, it's cool.
Buy the tiny little one and paint it.
Tempted. Really am.
But it's only fighter mode.
They're making the DX Nightmare Plus, the DX Macross Plus YF21. Supposedly, eventually, maybe someday, they put out a friggin'...
Yeah, I mean, they've got a proper prototype for it and everything.
Yeah, that was out May of last year, and we still haven't heard anything else about it. So,
yeah, I don't think Hayate's Nightmare Plus is gonna happen.
Well, I mean, it would just be a repaint or paint, so I don't know why they couldn't.
I know,
Yeah,
it just shows up for
ones.
a few minutes in one episode, and that's it.
Yeah, and it's piloted by an MC.
Yeah, that doesn't always mean it's going to be made into a kit or a figure or something like that.
I mean, for DX line, it definitely does, because they make shit that never actually existed. So there's a pretty good chance it'll happen.
There are 6 variants of the 25 and 6 variants of the 31.
If
In
that
fact, there's 8
Nightmare,
variants of the 31.
if that beige Nightmare Plus fucking happens, I will seriously consider getting it.
That being said, it is more likely that there will be a Nightmare Plus renewal, because the Nightmare Plus kit the Nightmare Plus DX is considered one of the worst ones. Only a little bit better
because
than
the legs break off immediately when you get it.
Well, it's luckily better than the DX VF25.
The other way of looking at that is that it was so bad they lost money on it, and they don't want to take that risk again.
Nah, it's not. They didn't lose any money on it, I guarantee you.
Well, with the bad rep it got, they probably didn't sell as many as they wanted to. So it underperformed.
I doubt that.
I don't know.
Like,
I mean, they still sell pretty consistently on Manda, so like people out there still want it. It's not like
the Nightmare Plus does sell.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? You can say that about every single age kit in existence, but guess what?
Well, yeah, that's just because Bandai likes to pretend that age never happened.
Same with G Gundam.
Here's the thing, though. With the DX things, they just... When they sell, they're a
Excuse me.
massive profit margin for fucking Bandai anyway, because they definitely charge a lot more than they are probably worth.
You know what's still incredibly funny to me?
Well,
You know how in the Re-Rise battle log, the suits with the highest votes ended up fighting each other?
yeah.
All of those suits outvoted the Unicorn.
It's probably because people are bored of seeing it.
The Unicorn and the RX-78 are probably the two Gundams that have the most kits out of all of them. Yes, I'm including recolors and
Yeah,
event
but bear in
variants
mind
and
that
stuff
all
like
of the things
but-
that fought in that were the big fanboy suits that weren't the UC ones. It was, despite the fact that build fighters hate using anything UC besides maybe the Neo Zeon ones.
Hey,
Not to mention the fact that they basically made those fights so illogical that they had to come up with stupid reasons for why.
Yeah,
things happened.
no, the fights I doubt were determined by the votes because they kept a lot of things vague and a lot of things were either down to pilot error or just comedy.
Well, I'm still unbelievably pissed off that they made Ayame a total dipshit and made her lose in one of the most powerful suits in Gundam.
No, okay, so when Build does an OVA or battle log or something like that, they always take one character trait and hyper exaggerate it in the girls.
Well, yeah, but they pointed out that Ayame is the one that taught him about the distraction technique.
No,
and then
no. I think you misheard that. Hiroto taught him that.
Yeah, well, even so, there is no way somebody that skilled should have fallen for such an obvious distraction.
You know, she's only one of the saviors of the ward, but whatever. Well, no, not the ward, the game, because divers. Anyway.
Man, you guys put a lot of thought into this.
Hey, I'm incredibly skilled and have been given possibly the third or second most powerful suit in all of Gundam. Oh no, a limited edition action figure. Guess I'll get shot by the fucking wing.
The thing was, it's not even that limited. Just
Not
no
to
one gives a damn about it.
Not to mention the fact, right, that the wing, like the Quanta is a suit so fucking powerful that it nearly wiped out an army on itself. The wing is a suit that when it takes damage, its own gun blows it up.
Yeah. I still think that aside from how it happened, a point-blank shot with the twin buster rifle at full charge, that's going to blast almost anything away. If Quant was ever caught in that, even under normal circumstances, it was just toast.
Oh,
Especially
I'm
if
dead.
it loses one of its drives, in which case it's now useless.
I'm so glad, War Thunder, thank you. My 650mm of penetration round cannot penetrate the side armor of your new German tank. Fuck
Be right
off.
back.
Man, you guys put a lot of thought into this whole battle log thing.
Yeah, because Quanta losing to fucking Wing Zero Custom does not happen. Same with Barbatos Lupus Rex being a fair fight against fucking Strike Freedom. Oh, hey, we've got the suit that can smack things against literal Beam God.
It's a game.
No, fuck off.
It's not
They
even that it's
actually
a game. It's made
They
for
actually
kids.
couldn't. They genuinely couldn't show the outcome of the Strike Freedom versus the Barbatos Lupus Rex because they knew it would piss people off so much. That fight is so one-sided, it's not even funny. One of the suits flies. Game over.
I mean, I'm gonna try and say this nicely, Hank, but think you might be a little bit too caught up in this. So let's
Yes,
take
it
a
annoys me.
breather.
It annoys me when fucking Bandai appeals to IBO fans by throwing logic out the window.
There's no logic in any of Gundam, period. So I don't want to hear that nonsense.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna have some, at least have a tiny bit. Like,
Oh,
fucking hell. The
No.
the stupid thing
No.
is that fight could have been ended by one suit taking off. That was it. Just, oh, I'm slightly higher than your melee range. Fuck you.
I mean, it was entertaining. So, in my opinion, 100% success.
I return.
Still gonna bitch about it.
and you can totally do that. You're entitled to it, and I'm gonna sit here and continue to laugh at you.
I'm just gonna say game balance and leave it at that.
Yes, but if you can sit here if you say you're going to sit here and laugh at me, all I'm going to say is you're not comparable to Shah. Don't make a mockery of yourself.
I mean,
No, he's comparable to Shah because you're making a fool of yourself on a live stream. And also, he's the host. He can laugh at you whenever he wants.
I came here to laugh at you.
Yeah,
I
you
didn't
came
come
here to be laughed at.
I was about to say that's not how that works. I didn't come here to laugh at anybody. I came here to build this here kit, and then you showed up and gave me something to laugh at.
What kit are you building anyway?
Still
the AltEisen.
Yeah, still the AltEisen.
Oh dear.
I love it. It looks so cool.
It is really cool.
Time for daily check of GM Turbulence and see if Amanda's got anything.
They're not gonna update for like 7 hours. When you
They got another. They just updated.
If I recall correctly,
in 7 hours.
They just updated. They got a new action figure, so they've started to get stock in.
if I remember correctly about the AltEisen, it's a heavily customized dispense. I think that's how you pronounce it. From it's basically a mass-produced unit.
I want to buy more.
And it had a stake in a triple barrel gun attached to its arm, and it was in testing phases. Eventually, they made the AltEisen from it after the prototype or the customized Getsman's success. The AltEisen's armor and weapons made it so heavy that it couldn't move anymore. So they had to install 2 generators in it, something called a Tesla generator or something like that. What it does is it lightens the load of anything it's inside. 2 generators is the equivalent of what a battleship needs in that universe. So
you're saying this was made by Elon Musk because of Tesla?
Sure, whatever.
Yes.
But the 2 Tesla generators inside of it, and even the weight still proving to be considerable for those 2, made the developers for the AltEisen believe that this thing was going to fail. There was absolutely no way it could succeed. They called it a suicide unit, going, okay, the first mission is on, it's going to get blown to pieces. And they got, well, I think Kyosuke insisted that he tried out the AltEisen, because I believe he was the pilot for the prototype. Anyway, he took this heavy piece of shit with close-range weaponry that had no right to succeed and made it work. He threw around its weight, he used everything it had, and basically just made it survive encounter after encounter again and again and again. So, I love the concept behind it. The thing was, at the end of the series, I believe they were going to destroy some of their mechs, and when they put the AltEisen inside of, I don't believe they tried using this, they tried to just throw the mechs inside of a giant compactor, like you would use for cans, and the AltEisen was still so fucking sturdy it broke the compactor, even though it was missing like one of its arms and legs.
Well, I mean,
its armor was just too heavy.
If the fiction is anything like the build of this kit, I can see that, because this thing is hefty. Oh, man.
Yeah, that's... AltEisen is actually German. It roughly translates to old iron or scrap iron.
I'm going to go speak to American friend quickly.
Go for it.
So, very fitting name for something so bulky and durable.
I mean, this thing is... this kit is... It's bulky. That's for sure.
Yeah, Kotobukiya kits sometimes end up as brittle or just odd feeling.
Nah,
so
this
it's
thing's
nice to actually
beautiful.
hear that about the AltEisen.
This thing is really, really well done.
Yeah, unlike some super robots, it just goes with bulk instead of crazy proportions.
Bulk and an arm that is somehow also a revolver that doesn't make any sense. Don't think about it too much. Like, I don't even know where the actual projectiles come out of the rifle, of the revolver part of the hand. Like, there's no actual barrel for it.
Don't think it too much. Yeah, don't think it too much.
Yeah, it's like, but somehow it works. Maybe it's like the gun blade, where firing the barrel makes the blade vibrate, and that's why it does more damage. Come on, get in that slot there. There we go. What was that, right? Yep. Alrighty. Alrighty. Let's see here. So those two parts are gonna go together probably like that. Oh, there we go. All right. It is kind of a shame that they made the AltEisen 1100, but they didn't make the upgraded version of it. Even though the Huckbean is the Huckbean 2.0. Or Mark II,
Huckbean looks really cool.
It's pretty cool.
I believe a lot of the more Gundam-like designs were actually designed by a Gundam mechanical designer.
Oh yeah, they definitely were. I mean, that was the whole point behind the Super Robot Wars like concept was.
Well, no, like specifically OG, which was trying to like avoid any copyrights, and yet some of the machines look very similar to certain mobile suits.
Yeah.
Like I believe the Huckbein, the SRX, the AltEisen, and maybe the Ritter might have had the Gundam designer.
Let me tell you this: Kotobukiya did design one of those.
I'm assuming the SRX. Just seems like his thing. Is it Ritter or is it Ritter? I don't know.
There's the I don't remember.
The Huckbein was mostly designed by Kotobukiya.
How the hell does this part go in? Thanks for giving me some instructions here, gang.
For the hips?
No, it's this the back butt flap. It says these two pieces go together. Doesn't show any, like, it doesn't actually say how.
No, Kotobukiya instructions are not the best. I haven't owned any Kotobukiya kits, but I've read enough of their instructions online on Hobby Search.
Oh, does it go like
that? I mean, their manual is like 3 pages, but each page is like 100 parts.
There we go. Okay, I got it.
I'm just saying they're not they're not very good visual wise on what you have to do.
Yeah, it would have been nice.
Some of the things are kind of self-explanatory, but then like the part you have right there, you know.
Like, it would have been nice to have had some sort of example of how that was supposed to go in.
Instead of, nope, this goes here, you figure it out.
Yeah, it's literally like, here's a part. It's these two parts put together. Okay, how?
Good luck, dude.
That one was, like, most of the stuff is pretty intuitive. That one, nope.
No, that's like, early 2000s, maybe 90s Bandai instructions. Just, hey, put this together, you figure out how.
To be
Got-
fair,
got-
the old Bandai manual is still more like clear than this.
I don't
Yeah.
know, man. Have you seen the 1144th?
Yes,
G-
I built the first MG. What do you think?
Didn't have to yell.
I mean, I'm not yelling. It's just my voice.
That's yelling. I'm not yelling. It's just my voice getting loud.
Hey, my voice is loud. I have a loud voice.
Anyways.
The
But yeah,
back
this
skirt for the
is-
AltEisen reminds me of the Core Gundam shield.
Except that, this actually works and is proportionate to the size of the kit and is not terrible.
Hey, it looks good with the R3 shield on it.
Little bit.
God, speaking of that, I can't wait to get the one of the new Core Gundam 2s coming out. The G3 color one looks amazing. The Titans one, not so much to me.
I actually kind of like the Titans color one, but I just have that dark blue is always really nice.
It looks off to me in the picture, and the red core gem just doesn't fit with the Titans color. I feel like they could have picked something else. Maybe like a dark blue or something.
No, it would be fine. It was yellow.
Yeah, no, yellow could have worked. I'm tempted to get the anima just for the blue core gem. It looks real nice. Kind of wish the anima just came with a clear one just so I could paint it myself, you know?
True enough. All right.
No, it's nice. It's cool that the AltEisen actually has light up bits. I didn't know that for this one.
Oh yeah, the 1100. All of the 1100s, Super Robot Wars kits except for the R1 have lights, and that's only because the R1 has its transformation gimmick instead. It's a knockoff Zeta Wave Rider form.
Yeah, considering how many things this thing has that open up, like the shoulders and the revolver stake, didn't need the light up part, but I'm glad they put it.
I mean, none of these kits need to be as good as they are, but holy crap, Koto was like, nah, we're just going to go all in on these.
Yeah, I wish Eastern Models learns from them going forward, because the Eastern Model Mega Man Zero has a light piece inside of its head to make the head gem light up. But to turn that off and on, you need to completely open up the head to get to the electronics. They didn't put in a button on the back of the head, which I really wish they had.
Well, this one doesn't even really have a...
Well, no, but it has a
Like,
toggle. You pull out the backpack a little bit, and that's something, that's something external you can do.
Yeah,
It's a lot easier than taking apart the kit.
that is true. It's one of the reasons why I went with the Gundam LED sets for...
Yeah, no,
the
I'm looking at
Curios, all
those. I'm
those.
also looking at the wireless LEDs. They look pretty useful.
Well, the ones that I got are from GundamLED.com, and they're not...
Yeah, I think you showed me those.
Yeah. They're magnet operated, which is really cool.
Yeah, no, it's really neat. It's tempting me. It really is. I'm just trying to think about where I can use those, because my Master Grade Blitz definitely doesn't need it. The Turn A won't really have a spot for it. Maybe in the head, but I'm gonna be painting over the eyes.
It has a place for you to put in the head.
Okay, but I'm gonna be painting over the eyes, so that there's no point to that then.
Paint over them with a clear color.
I just want it done. Yeah, I don't have a clear color on me, so.
I mean, I'm gonna put mine in the Curios and then the High Ka, and then save some for the because I got 6, so I'm putting 1 in Curios, 1 in High Ka, and saving the rest for stuff like the Virtue.
If I gave a damn about the Blastmaster, then I could probably put a light kit in the chest, but that would require me carrying.
I think it'll be fine just with the paint job you're trying to do on it.
Yeah. I'm still a little bit concerned about that. I'm waiting for it to dry out a little bit more outside. It rained yesterday, so.
Yeah, humidity is always a problem.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for it to dry out and the sun come out for a little bit longer, and then I'm gonna spray paint some spoons and see how it works, how it looks. Those are gonna be my like test examples on how I want the finish of the kit to look.
Right.
Like, should I put matte on the joints or should I put the semi-gloss on the joints, and you know, stuff like that.
Yep. I totally get
So I'd
it.
rather figure that out now instead of after I've painted it.
Makes sense.
I'm still trying to figure out because I think I'm just gonna paint up the kit and worry about customizing it later. And like, if I want some arm guards on it, would I need to like re-top coat the drill, like the hole, if I drill it in the arm?
No, because you're going to be putting something on top of it anyway, so it doesn't matter at that point.
Well, okay. Well, I meant like if I decide to not have that on there, then there's just gonna be a hole in the arm, and I don't know if I should top coat that anyway.
No, because I mean, either the hole is going to be exposed and everything around it is already top coated, or it's going to be covered up by something that you will also top coat, so it doesn't matter.
I think one thing that would bother me is that after I drill the hole, the original plastic color is going to be visible. So who knows?
Nah, you'll be fine.
Yeah, okay. I still, because the reason I'm thinking about that is I want to make a beam saber holster for it, and I kind of want to put the beam saber in the arm, not like as a taunt or anything like that, but just as storage. But the other arm will end up being empty because it's a Jigen and it only has one beam saber. Or I could buy a completely new kit just for 2 pieces that were spare parts with it.
It's always those options, dude.
Yeah, I'm thinking that as time goes on, I'll probably go, oh, maybe I should try this and buy a kit, use the spare parts, and paint them the same way as the Blastmaster and go, does this look good? Maybe, maybe not. Okay, it's an optional piece. You know, just like things that I'm not going to really use for anything else.
There we go.
Like anything Jigen or Jesta would just go towards the Blastmaster. Still not a fan of its gun. Some other people in servers have been giving me ideas on how to paint it or customize it in a way to make it look interesting. Someone suggested like cutting off the back of it.
What do you mean cutting off the back of it?
With the Jigen rifle, hold on. Okay, with the Jigen rifle, there's that, you know, it's mostly blocky, but then there's that cylindrical part behind the handle.
Sure. I'll take your word
Someone
for it.
was
But I haven't
suggesting
seen it
cutting
recently.
that off. And someone else suggested actually enclosing that with another square piece to, you know, keep it uniform.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Not having it in front of me, I can't say one way or the other.
Yeah. Just
That's
take
like
over. Jigen rifle is kind of odd.
Yeah, so just go for another rifle too.
Yeah, but then I don't know if I care enough to just give it another rifle.
That's okay. Neither did the people who made it for the show.
Yeah, pretty much. I think every gray part from the Jigen is with the Blastmaster. I just wish they kept the original feet with it too.
Well, swapping the feet is like if you just buy an HD Jigen, you can just swap the feet.
Yeah, I know, but then I'm taking a foot from an actually good design and putting it on a shitty design. And then the good design no longer has feet. Decisions.
So the thing is I don't necessarily think the Blastmaster is a bad design. I think it was poorly executed.
Yeah, I honestly don't like the designs of, it has this and it has this and it's stronger than this and it has this and this and this and they're all smaller than they should be or that they could be in their actual series, and yeah, it's a kid's show, it's a toy, you know, it's a model kit in reality, or in the anime, but I feel like they could have kept some logic. I don't know.
Logic? What is this
Because like they even
logic?
said like, oh, even in the instructions it says the Blastmaster should not be able to fire all these weapons at once, but thanks to its builder's creativity, it can.
In other words, we're gonna BS our way around this.
No, you just got an exploit in the video game. That should have been patched before the final battle, or you could have just gotten banned and it would have been hilarious.
I mean, they did it because it was supposedly going to look cool, but like I think we can all agree they spent a lot of time in that show building up, like, you know, him worrying about the new build and if it was going to be any good. And it shows up for like 1 or 2 episodes and it's terrible anyway. So it's like, man, this kid's awful.
Oh, I want to fight on the front lines with Riku, so he builds something that's long range and bombardment instead of front lines. Genius.
And it still looks terrible.
Yeah, no, the colors are the worst part about it, to be honest. When you change the colors, it looks half decent. I still think the feet could have just been, you know, not weapons.
All right. So
I think the skirt armor, at least the front ones, should have just been a normal design. The side ones should not have been G-Self themed. It should, like, if they wanted them to be guns, they can make them guns. They just didn't have to copy something else. The shoulders, they're fine. The head, it's fine. The chest, it's fine. Just, I think from the waist down, it just kind of dropped off in how good it was. I would definitely be pulling the satellite cannon from that thing and putting it on a spare backpack adapter from the Phineas Venisquita. Hey, if the Blastmaster doesn't deserve the satellite cannons, it's not going to get it. I plan to use them with something else. Who knows what? Huh?
Nobody deserves satellite cannons.
Well, you see, the Gundam X and the Double X make it look good.
I mean, they do, but they're like the only
Gundam
kids that
Mao
deserve
makes it look good, you know? But, nah, the Blastmaster, it just doesn't fit with it. Out of all the pieces, it looks so out of place because it looks like it's just ripped off of a Gundam X.
I mean, it is, and it looks like it's just glued on. Like, it just looks terrible, even in the show.
There's no flow between it and the actual design. If they wanted a satellite cannon, they should have based it more along the Jagen's blockiness and stuff.
Yeah, but then they would have had to have, like, molded new parts.
I read something that in a teaser without a picture, they said that Yuki's next mobile suit was going to be based on the Jesta. Because it was originally called the Jesta Blastmaster. Or something. Or like the Jesta Kai or something like that. I don't know. But as we've seen, the final result was a Jagen. But the added armor onto the Blastmaster looks very Jesta. So, I've seen a few customs where people get bashed the two together.
I honestly have no thoughts and no opinions on that matter because I have no idea what it would have looked like otherwise.
It would have just been a lot more blocky in the legs and arms, you know, as Jestas would look. I think that would have fit a lot better with the armor they added on. Which, again, yeah, a few people have kit bashed it together, and it looks half decent. There's some sizing issues as usual, but I think it could have worked. So does this thing come with any accessories, any extra bits, anything else?
Nope.
I figured it would have at least come with the well, in the games and stuff like that, when it tries to reload the revolver, it has a quick loader with 6 bullets on it. And it ejects the used cartridges and then slams the new ones in.
Nope, nothing like that.
Oh, that would have been neat. But I guess it's easy enough to make something like that out of the excess runners.
Considering the like the bullets in the chamber are like a gold colored, it would have been actually a little bit harder.
Well, I mean, use the gold runner to do that.
And there's not much gold runner is the thing.
Really?
Yeah. There's not. I mean, it's literally just a couple of the gold parts to put inside to make the chambers look gold. And then it falls over because
No.
Whatever. It's not gonna break. This thing's way too heavy duty for that.
I love that it is living up to itself. Just so funny. Well, now you need to get the Weissritter or whatever you want to call it.
Weissritter? What?
You know, the pilot's girlfriend's mobile suit. Not mobile suit, mech. It's white and blue.
Oh, I've seen that. I'm not that big of a fan of it.
Yeah, no, it's not a great design, but if I had the AltEisen on my desk, I'd be like, yeah, it kind of needs the other one next to it.
Come on.
But that's just me.
I mean, he cannot because there's no 1/100 of it.
Yep.
There isn't?
Nope.
Oh, there are only four.
Yeah, there's only 4 of the 1/100 scale ones.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, but they're good ones.
Yeah. Man, I miss her voice actor. The pilot's voice actor. Actress, I guess. She died a couple years ago, and I don't think they've had a game since then. Maybe they did and they reused voices? I don't know.
Alright.
Still, the last Super Robot Wars OG game was pretty definitive, so don't know if they'll continue the series after that.
I mean, they still continue the manga. So.
Yeah. But continuing manga is kind of easier than continuing a game.
Alright. Okay, that needs to go back.
It's weird seeing the horn in clear.
Well, that's because it lights up.
Yeah, no, I know that. It's weird because it's always solid in all the games and media.
Right.
But it's meant to recreate the heat horn attack, which is, I think it's supposed to be blue.
It just glows in general.
Yeah. It's blue because of heat and blah 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 blah.
Alright, so if I push those all the way back to there, then that'll give it a little bit more of a centered look, I think.
Looks kind of stiff.
Oh, yeah, this thing is stiff, dude. There is not much in the way of articulation in this thing. I mean, it's got a lot of joints, but like the actual, like, legit articulation is not, there's not much to it.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense for something this bulky.
Go back in.
I think the shoulders move a lot more than I was expecting it to.
Oh, the shoulders are fine. It's the legs that are kind of problematic.
Maybe you could lube those up or something.
Nah. I mean, I really want it to hold a position is the thing. All right. The biggest problem is that the feet are very complicated, but the joints in them are very, very tight. So
Oh god,
getting
yeah.
the actual feet to move is a problem.
I've got the True Force design Mega Man X figure, which was a concept art for an April Fool's, and eventually, due to fan demand, they released it as an actual figure. But they have like 3 or 4 joints in the ankle alone for those big feet that Mega Man X is known to have.
Yeah.
And now the feet can tilt forward, tilt back, to the sides, and then pull out and move even further. So when you're trying to get it to stand, it feels like you're just constantly pushing against the surface. Be like, okay, where's it going to settle? You know?
Yeah, this one's not quite that bad, but like there's a lot of joints in the feet, and manipulating them into a position is far more difficult than it really needs to be.
Yeah,
I
when
like
feet
that
are too
body.
complex, I just push it up against the surface and wait for the joints to, adjust to what it's going to be standing on. And then I look at it, I go, is that good? Good enough.
All right, now it's time to put on some fingers and some hands because I haven't done that yet. All right, so if I'm building some hands for this thing, how does this go on? So this is the left hand.
Hey, Orb, a little bit late.
It's the right hand?
Mm-hmm.
It's almost
Or is
done.
it the other way around. Other way around. Other way around.
Just hop and see how you guys are doing.
What's up, dude?
How's the build coming along?
Yeah, not bad at all, actually.
Do you have some spare pieces?
For what?
Looks like you do.
Oh yeah, there's definitely some leftover pieces.
Where are they from? Because the AltEisen is the first one in the series.
No, it's not. But I mean, there's like they're leftover. They're just copies of the like they have duplicate runners. But you don't need more than the you don't need the number of parts that they include in the duplicate runner. So
Okay, yeah, I didn't know it was a duplicate runner. Interesting.
And it's not the first one in the 1/100 series. That would be the Huckbean 2.
Well, no. I meant like it. The AltEisen was the first AltEisen, and then there was the Reese, and then
Ah, okay.
So I figured that like there shouldn't be, extra parts if there was something like from a previous AltEisen, which that wouldn't make sense.
Nope, it's just extra parts for this one.
It's funny when you were building the Solidia, I think it's called.
Solidia,
That thing was so skinny and lanky, and now you're holding this monster.
It is pretty damn big, that is for sure.
What's funny is that I believe these things were called personal machines, personal soldiers, something like that. Anyway, these things are pretty tiny in universe. Like, they're not Gundam size, but they're also not like Rodoms.
Dude, these things are way bigger than Gundams.
Yeah, bigger than
The actual super robots, yeah, they're a lot bigger than Gundams, but I'm pretty sure the AltEisen wasn't that big.
I mean, this is 1/100 scale, and it is bigger than any master grade except for maybe the Zazabi.
Hold on, let me check.
like that, possibly.
Yeah, they're big, dude.
22.2 meters. Okay, I was wrong.
Yeah, they're big.
I swear it was a lot smaller. Maybe I'm thinking of something else.
I mean, there's the Personal Trooper R1 kit that I've got coming in the mail soon. That one is slightly smaller than the rest of them, but it's still bigger than MG size. Come on, I don't want to break this peg. There we go. And J5 goes on there. All right.
So my other Secret Santa box came in.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Actually nice. The F91 box is bigger than I imagined. It's like a proper MG size box and it's quite a bit thick. Went through the manual for it. The copper pieces are neat.
They kind of are. I actually really enjoyed the F91. Even though I did, customize a hell lot of customize mine to be the Madden custom.
Oh, it does seem nice.
There seem to be like a, what do you call, what's the word? Like options to make different things with this one. So this is the twin VSBR one, but
Okay.
I think it doesn't come with enough forge. I think forge was right. There's a piece that looks suspiciously like a polycap, but it's an actual piece. So I'm gonna check all my remaining polycaps to see if I can find one. Yeah. Otherwise, we'll just make the regular version out of it and then have everything else as option sets.
Fair enough. All right.
I also got a Tekkaden jacket.
Oh, nice.
Mhm.
Now you can also be killed. Not everybody from Tekkaden died, but almost all of them did.
Now you too can be an orphan.
You can be a fucking child soldier.
Are you talking about Disney movies again?
I mean, if you're an orphan in a Disney movie, you're definitely the main character, and nothing bad will ever happen to you.
I know, right?
If you're an orphan in anime, you might as well just commit suicide. Just hang it up. Your life is pretty much over.
Yeah, no, it's if you're a high schooler in an anime with a family and a younger sister, you're probably the main character too.
I mean, if you're a high schooler in anime and you have a younger sister and no family around, you're probably gonna end up fucking that younger sister because fucking anime.
I thought you said this was a PG stream, man.
No, I never said it was PG. I said
You
I
said
wanted to
it the
keep
other
it
day.
civil.
Pretty sure you're going beyond civil too.
No, I am just calling out the bullshittery that is Japanese anime when it comes to crap like that.
Oh, keep in mind, they're not really blood related.
Ugh.
Fetish is a fetish, I guess.
It's not so much that it's a fetish. Like, that's one thing. If they kept it in porn, that's fine. The problem is that this sort of thing is really a social problem in Japan. Like, this sort of anime stuff is actually, like, warping the social family dynamics in Japan mostly because the entire
Japan's
country
not
is...
the only country with that issue.
No, that's true. But, like, Japan being as sexually repressed as it is overall is kind of problematic.
The thing is, this has been a running theme for decades. This isn't a new genre.
It hasn't been as prevalent as it has been in the last few years.
The internet has
I don't know about that, man.
Help push that into, like, what do you call, like the highlight, the spotlight. There you go.
Yeah.
The thing is, Japan's very good with separating fiction from reality.
Are
So
they?
you don't hear as many issues over there as you would hear over here.
I don't think that's true at all.
No, I'm not saying it's not happening at all. It's most definitely happening. But I'm saying it's not as bad as it could be.
Didn't all of Eva was a message of don't be a recluse otaku?
Yeah.
Because that was that big of an issue in Japan that they had to make an entire show out of it.
No, it's funny because anime still shit on characters who are otakus in some way.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they still shit on them, but then you've got shows like Eden of the East that are like, no, being an otaku's great.
Mm-hmm. Welcome to the NHK.
Then all the bad things happen to them.
Like, Welcome to the NHK had one of the best representations of what that life brings you.
Oh, they sold out something on USA Gundam Store.
So that's the print on the back of the jacket. It's an excellent fit. I don't know how the dude knows my measurements that well. It's slightly concerning.
The Navy Field 152 sold out. Shit.
I was talking to them about the print. So if you notice, there are like slight smudges and misprints on the thing. Initially, I thought I got like a bad one.
That looks
But now
like
they intentionally weathered it a little bit.
That's pretty cool.
Because apparently this is not like a regular jacket. This is like a cosplay jacket.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they wanted to give it that feel. Like, I went through and saw all their photos. All of them have the exact same thing.
No, that makes sense because if you look at the layer, it's way too clean until it gets up to those imperfections.
Yeah.
So no, that definitely looks intentional.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of the Scout Patrol or whatever it is from Attack on Titan jacket that I have.
Oh, you have one? You lucky bugger.
I mean,
I've been
it
looking
was
for that one as well.
So it was an accident that I got it. I don't really care about it that much. Because, like, a friend of mine wanted one, and I was like, all right, I'm going to put this on my Amazon wish list because I was going to, like, save it and try and buy it for a friend for Secret Santa thing. But then, like, my mom found my Amazon wish list and thought that was something I wanted, so she bought it for me. I was like, okay. Oh, God damn it, I'm going to break this fucking peg trying to get this fucking finger on, aren't I? No.
One of the things I had on my wish list for my family just sold out on USA Gundam Store, so I've got to find another place to get it real quick.
Like just now sold out, like immediately?
It may have sold out like last night because I was there yesterday.
What is it?
It's like a figure. It's a pre-painted, pre-built figure, but it also comes with a model kit.
I mean,
it's so that they can cut costs on it.
That's what happened with this AltEisen. I bought this sweet little pilot figure, and it came with this giant model kit. I'm not sure why, but
no, it's the Navy Field 152 Act Mode Mio or something like that. It's basically your girl with a shark.
Oh, okay.
It's a VTuber?
Huh? What?
There we go.
I said, is she a VTuber?
No. It's not on Gundam Central. Shit.
Yeah, I just have to put this hand on and I'll be done. Woo.
Of course, it's very hard to search this name because it's so long.
Also, if you're at Gundam Planet, their search doesn't work anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Nice.
Man, Gundam Planet has the worst fucking search I've ever seen for a website. Period.
It works for me when I try it, but
like I can literally type in the name of the product that is listed on the fucking product page and not get any results. And I'm like, how? How does that work?
They put all the thing into design and advertisement, but not actual function. Oh, now I need to check the Canadian sites. Yay!
I have been, I've been like watching a lot of the different videos of the beating part than your usual Zaku races and all that.
Canadian Gundam search engine is not good either.
No, it's horrible. You're better off going MG and then going through all the MGs that are actually searching for one.
Or just like doing a search through Google with a site tag.
Yeah, that also works.
Alright, so
Keep telling them to revamp their website, they just don't. But yeah, Gunpla used to make videos. I don't know what happened to them. They just disappeared.
who did?
Nope, Canadian Gundam doesn't have
They
it.
did once this year, I think.
Yeah, it's like they used to do like semi-regular videos of all the new stuff like Hobby in Japan, but then they
Type doesn't have it.
stopped. And Hobby in Japan has just been on a downward spiral to being useless as usual.
At least they've got stock.
And imagine having a 50-minute long review video and you get everything wrong. How?
Gotsu.
Oh crap! Did that break? No.
Don't break your kit.
Not trying to. Trying to see why the lights aren't lighting.
Bragging
up in
about
the
how
face.
durable and how bulky something is, and then all of a sudden you break it.
No, the lights. Ah, there we go. There we go. Got the lights in the eyes and the horn. There you go.
Oh wait, no, that's a view
I don't
site.
see it.
It's hard to see. I could turn the lights off and you can see it a little bit better.
Was USA Gundam Store the only thing that had this?
What?
Let's see.
Okay. After our talk about the lightning, I spent like 2 hours trying to search for it again. Fucking scalpers are holding on to the last of the patch. I'm convinced.
Probably
They're
are.
selling it for
They're
$400
probably
to
actually
$500.
come up for reasonable prices when Bandai reprints it. Well, not
400
reasonable, but
bucks.
lower.
Corey, $400 to $500 for an MG.
Yep. The thing is, if you were Forged or Hank, you would buy it.
No, absolutely not. I'm not. I'm willing to pay that money to Bandai or any other retail shop, but not these guys. Fuck 'em.
All right.
Homer of God doesn't have a search engine at all. I'm impressed.
There you go. There's the lights on it. If I turn off all the other lights around, you can see it.
See what? Oh.
Yeah, I don't even
That
think
does not work well, does it?
It works.
Mm.
It's decent-ish.
Yeah,
I mean,
I see it now.
yeah.
Oh, the chest lights up too. That's cool.
Yeah, a little bit. It's not supposed to light up in the sense that there's no light piping to it. It just kind of does from the fact that there's gaps where the LED is.
Nice.
But yeah, there we go. I'm
Ugh.
actually really happy with how this thing turned out.
All the sites I just checked don't have that figure anymore.
Have you tried eBay?
It just released, so no, I haven't yet.
It just
Oh,
released.
you
won't get it
could
for
buy
a month or so.
If I get pre-owned from Ami,
I feel like I'm missing a part on the side of the arm here.
could
Yeah,
Ami
there's supposed to be
get
some
it to
white parts that go in there. Where are they
America in a month? Eh.
If you're doing DHL, you'll have it within a week.
What? I guess if you pay a lot for shipping.
Mine thing came from Ami. That thing was from EMS. You guys don't have EMS, so don't count this. But even with EMS, it was here within 5 days.
Well, you're also in Canada, and they like Canada. They don't like the States.
Okay,
I've had things take 2 months from Ami.
those parts.
I have both the Ami box and the Seeker Center box. Both of them technically had I think, by the way the boxes are lined up, I feel like both of them have one MG and something else with it. And the Ami box is like 4 times larger for some reason. Because that's the amount of shipping material they use for packing.
I guess I have to get it from Ami. Well, not me, but put it on the wish list and say, this is where you get it.
Is it the same relatives though? Because
Huh?
if they are, Ami won't really be a viable option for them.
I mean, it's cheaper than ordering it from USA Gundam Store.
Oh yeah,
But
it's always going to be cheaper to just have it ordered and then shipped to you than getting it from a store.
I mean, hey, if anything, my birthday is 2 months later, so whatever. I just should have given the wish list and said, hey, you should probably order this now, but nah, it's gone from USA Gundam Store. And the funny thing with USA Gundam Store is it says sold out, but it's still on pre-order.
I mean, they probably hit their.
No, it was also on. It was out of pre-order the other day.
Yeah, but they probably hit sold the ones they had and then put up a pre-order for a second wave.
No, but you can't pre-order a second.
Okay, well.
That's the thing. When it goes on sold out on their site, it disables all options. So when they put it on sold out, they also somehow put it on pre-order, so it's listed as pre-order, but it's sold out.
Somebody messed up the inventory probably.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, USA Gundam Store always fucks up their site.
I have never had any problems with those guys.
I never have problems when they have stock.
Like, I mean, people were complaining because they were afraid they weren't going to get the MGEXs, and they're like, oh, they're going to be short stocked, and I pre-ordered mine, and I'm not going to get it or whatever. And I'm like, mine came, I actually pre-ordered mine pretty late in the game and still got mine when it came out. So, Anyways, there we go. 1/100 Super Robot Wars AltEisen. Fully assembled. Ready to go. Detailed up and everything.
And now do a custom paint job.
I mean, if I had the money to buy a second one, maybe, but no.
You know, honestly, if you're just going to buy a second one, you buy the blue one then.
I mean, there's not a blue one, but okay.
There isn't Beowulf?
No,
Beowulf?
no.
Like I
There
said,
might be
it's
the
just more.
1/144. Like, there might be a 1/144 scale one, but
Hold on.
there's not a 1/100 one. There's only 4 1/100 kits, and I have all of them.
I'm checking. I swear I saw a box art for that.
You might have seen the 1/144 one. I think there is a 1/144 scale version, but not a 1/100 scale version.
So Japan's review for the 1/100 no grade Akatsuki. That
Oh,
thing's
okay.
bright.
There's that.
Holy shit, they went ham on that goal. This is like
there's the
Phoenix
1/144.
Ray.
Yeah, there's not a 1/140. There's not a 1/100 one.
Ooh,
There may
there's
be
a
a
Joe
1/144.
Goken. There's a Joe Goken. I'm tempted.
Look at this. Look at how stupidly bright this thing is.
I mean, I do like that gold sumo.
Yeah. Been wanting to get one too.
I like it when gold isn't obnoxious.
Yeah. Shiki gold is the best kind, I believe, because it's easier to handle.
It depends on the kit, honestly.
Yeah. Shiki 2.0. The matte gold that it does, it's the best kind because it's easy to handle and you don't have to worry about it too much.
Yeah, you don't leave fingerprints on it too.
But yeah, actually, I kind of want to get the. I want to get one of those 1/100 because it's like what they're the no grade sumos, right?
Yeah. I want to get 2 so I can strip the paint off of 1 and then repaint it.
Oh god, the blue one comes with a giant katana.
Yeah.
Okay, looking at the AltEisen right now, do you think that thing could be mobile enough with a katana?
Oh god, no.
Probably just throws it.
No, he actually uses it. I don't know why he thought that was the best melee weapon of choice. It still has the melee, like the revolver stake too, so I don't get it.
Are you talking about the
This makes me
AltEisen
sad, by
knock?
the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look at the gates on the left one. Why is this a thing?
Yeah, I know.
Bruh.
They do that with the holy shit, my brain. The HGC Destiny,
Mhm.
the effect parts for the wings, they do that for that. They do that for honestly anything that's thin and long. I think
Okay.
maybe that somehow stabilizes it, and I don't know.
Maybe, but it's like it's a plated part. Why would you do that?
Because it's injecting plastic from both sides, so I don't
Yeah,
know.
so when you cut it, it doesn't leave like that much mark. So
I hope so.
No,
Because it's
you-
a really nice metallic copper thing.
There we go.
Apparently, the AltEisen also has an optional shotgun, but not in the kit.
You have to salvage it from a different kit.
Just go out and get a pump action shotgun.
Ah, yes. I'll just go to my garage.
Yeah, we'll go to my garage and get the an AltEisen sized shotgun.
Haven't used it since last winter.
When I was
And then go
fending
give
off
it to
those
Vegeta.
because back when I was fending off those AltEisen sized bears, there you go.
just buy a camphor.
There you go.
Mhm.
Actually, the camphor would be a little bit too.
I mean, just need
The
something.
shotgun would not be the right size. Is the problem?
Okay. See, I have a perfect solution for this. You get the 1/72 metal build camphor. There you go. Problem solved. You have bigger weapons.
Yeah, but then I have a 172 scales camphor, and that's not really a downside, is it?
Mm.
I mean, I already said if it's still around after the holidays, I'm gonna get one.
I'm still considering getting the Beyond Global G3.
What?
Man, for that price, you could just buy a regular Beyond Global and paint it.
Yeah, but still, it's an event exclusive thing.
Is it now? Anyways, I'm gonna
And
be
it
done.
has duplicate runners. Like if you look at the plating on it, they're
Yeah.
giving you the same runner 3 times.
Anyways, I'm going to be done streaming for now at the very least. So this is me signing off from my stream. If those of you who are watching who aren't in the Discord chat are watching, thank you much for your time and have a nice